All right. I think everything's running.
Are we alive? Are we here? Do we
We're
exist, Steve?
we're
Do we exist?
alive. Whether whether we're proven to others that we're alive, that's another story.
Well, yeah, to be fair, we may not be here, or I may not be here much longer. I may just spontaneously combust.
Ugh.
It's roasting here, Deej. Roasting.
Spontaneously combust. Oh my god.
Man.
Yeah,
I was
hot
going to
there.
say,
Yeah, we said that. Remember last week? I was hot. Now it's there. Well,
man.
it's only 80 here today. It was very nice. It's very nice here now. It's like we went through a cold spell after that, like I told you last week, and now it's when we had some rain. Like what was it? Sunday. Yeah, like we were just saying. I don't even know what day it is. It's Tuesday. We're like, this is weird, because it feels like a Monday. But yeah, Sunday here just rained all day, like just nonstop. Not like a gap, like I usually get a lot. Nope, just nonstop. Like from what I hear, that's what Seattle's like. But,
Don't tease me. Don't tease me with a good time, Deej. Don't tease me with a good time. I think the next time it rains, it's going to be like the ending of the Shawshank Redemption. I'm going to be like stood out in the rain, just like this.
Yeah,
getting covered. We had a record-breaking May temperature for the UK yesterday, 95 in Fahrenheit. I looked it up. 95 in May in the UK. Now, bearing in mind, all our houses are built to keep heat in. They're not built to keep heat out. Nobody has air conditioning. It is
that's the thing.
Absolute furnace.
Yeah, it's funny though, but wouldn't keeping heat in, wouldn't that is like keep the heat out as well? It's insulation. You just don't let it. I mean, when you have heat in it, you don't want it to leak out. So if heat's on the outside, you don't want it to leak in. But then the house bakes, but there's nowhere to breathe. You know what I mean? That's the thing.
This is the problem. So we don't have aircon. It's very, very rare to have domestic air conditioning in the UK. Very rare. And so we just, the heat comes in, the heat gets trapped, and we slowly boil in the bag. To quote Good Morning Vietnam, it's hot, damn hot. Cook things in my shorts. A little bit of crotch potch cooking. It's that, that.
Sorry, everybody. We're opening the show with that.
It's boiling. I've got two fans on me at the moment. I've got a little, and I've got a big fan off to the left there. And, I'm still absolutely roasting. So if during this you see me doing this across my neck with my habitual Red Bull, that's because I'm trying to cool myself down. It is boiling. But the problem is it's a different kind of heat to the US. I mean, and Spain. Yeah. Look, I mean, I grew up in the summer in Spain. We will get 55 degree centigrade, 55-degree temperatures where the roads are melting, and it's fine. It's okay. It's manageable. It's all right because again, the houses are built to keep heat out, and they're it's fine. But here it's just not like that, and the humidity, because we're this little island, is really bad as well. So it's really tough when it gets above about 28, 29 degrees centigrade. So when it gets above 80 yours, that's when we really struggle. And that's what we're doing at the moment. And I think it's the whole of like Northern Europe. That's all over. Everybody's really caught it. And if it's come from you guys, then thanks very much.
You're welcome.
Because
you're welcome. Hey, don't say I never sent you anything.
Man, true. Although, Deej, I might be hassling you about sending me something soon. If it doesn't get released here. Yeah, I don't know. I'm not sure we'll be able to do that. I want to get, the Masters of the Universe is coming out.
Yes. And is that this week?
Now next week, 3rd of June. Yeah, next week.
Okay.
And there are the Sword of Power, like drink cups, right? It's like a 40-ounce sword. You fill with soda and you drink it from the sword.
Yeah.
And I'm hoping they're going to do them over here. I don't know if they will. And if they do, great. But if they don't, I might be getting you to, kick down the door of your nearest theater and see if you can get me one. And I'll pay the postage and everything else, man. I'll have to, get a second mortgage, but it'll be fine.
Yeah. It's
so, man, I need to have one. I must have one. I really must have one. So yes, I need to get one, but I'm hoping they're going to be here. That they'll do them in the UK. I've been looking.
Yeah,
they're on eBay for like £120, but I'm hoping that they'll be a bit more sensible in a theatre here. But anyway, we'll see. And how's your week been anyway? All good?
Good. Good. Been busy, keeping busy with everything. Whether I'm working in the house, working period. I was able to get see a few movies this week, which we'll talk about. But it was like I wanted to see more, just didn't get a chance to. But one of them we'll talk about. I got to see twice, which was nice. So it'll be part of the conversation.
Okay,
but
I know
yeah.
which one that'll be.
Do
Okay.
you think?
Yeah, I think so. The theatrical one.
Yeah.
There you go. See, I knew.
Yeah.
Well, I knew which one it wouldn't be.
Yeah, once is enough. Oh my god.
Oh,
Before
that's
we,
gonna
I
be
mean, like, are you going to see? Is that one you want repeated viewings of?
Oh, like I say, I rented it. I wish I'd bought it. I would have seen it twice at least already had I bought it.
So
I love it.
where
I
did you
can't
rent?
wait.
Where did you rent it?
When or where?
Where? Like, where did you rent it from? Like a streaming
iTunes.
service?
Yeah,
Okay.
iTunes. But
So
it was
you
like
could have watched.
$9.99.
What do you have? Like 48 hours, right?
Yeah. Mhm.
But can't you watch it as many times as you want in 48 hours?
Yeah, but I've got a life, Deej. I've got
Oh,
a
okay.
life,
All right.
you
No,
know, come
well,
on.
I'm just saying. Don't know, but see what I'm saying. I'm just saying, like, if you really wanted to see it again, you could have, but it would have had to been in that time frame, correct?
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
Whereas
Okay, that's all.
since I saw it, which whatever day that was, I'm not sure. I would have seen it again since. I had my mind.
Yeah, I don't remember
blown.
what day I saw it either because I'm trying to forget. No, it really. I will talk about it, but it wasn't that bad. It was
No.
fun. It was fun. It was fun.
Loved it.
Um,
Loved it.
Yeah.
So that's going to be fun. But yeah, no. And I mean, my week's been busy with work and everything else. It's been kind of
Yeah.
crazy as well. Same as yours.
Yeah, you said
but
you
I
had.
have-
I was listening back to the show, and you had yesterday off as well over there, and it's like,
Yeah, bank holiday yesterday. Yes.
yeah, we have Memorial Day here,
Mhm.
and so I was like, oh, okay. I'm like, that's kind of funny. It's like, I'm like, I when I was listening back to the show, I should have said, I'm like, oh yeah, it's on Memorial Day here, but so we both had yesterday off.
Yeah, but I was on call, so I didn't really get the day off. I was at various police stations, but Sunday I was off, and we went to. I don't know. I mean, so we in the UK again. This is, I'm making the UK sound really bad, but sometimes it is.
You don't have to do
the
that.
idea
It does
of
it all
kind
by
of-
itself.
Yeah, true.
I'm sorry. I
Yeah,
couldn't
hey,
resist
look,
that one.
Just going back to the tea party, aren't you? You're not going to let us forget it. That's fine. Okay, that's fine. Just remember the Brits on Bunker Hill. That's the
Hey,
main
the
thing,
reason
right?
it's called a revolution and not a civil war is because you lost.
True. Well, did we though? Anyway,
Well, yeah, you did.
yeah, that was that one. No, fair enough.
There's no other way of slicing and dicing that one. It's like,
It's not so much revolution as revisionism.
yeah, well, yeah, but if you had won, it'd be called a civil war
Yeah, true.
because you
true.
wanted to keep it as one country, right?
Mm-hmm.
And the revolution was us separating. So we won, we got the separation. If you had
Well-
won, it would have been called that, I don't know, whatever, the
skirmish.
British
Rebellion.
Civil War or whatever. But is it that is kind of weird if you'd call it a civil war when it's fought on two different continents,
Yeah, that would be weird, wouldn't it? Yeah,
right?
yeah.
But it technically would be because it was the same
yeah,
country,
yeah,
right?
Yeah,
it
yeah,
was weird.
colonialists. Yep, absolutely.
yeah.
It was. But we won Bunker Hill. That's what I learned in the summer of
Good
'98.
for you.
So that's all that really matters. That's
That's
what
right
I'm just
around
taking
here
that
too.
to know.
Yeah.
It is. No, I know. I
Yeah.
saw Bunker Hill.
And you know what you
I
learned from Bunker Hill? Piss us
What was
off.
Oh man, I learned a lot that summer.
Don't
Um,
make us angry.
Don't make us angry. Don't make us angry. But yeah, so on Sunday in the UK, wild swimming is is frowned upon, right? They don't like people doing that because people get into a lot of trouble swimming in quarries and
Oh.
lakes and canals, that kind of thing.
Yeah,
There is one near here which is like a lake and a beach and everything else. We went there Sunday, which was very, very pleasant and very nice. But there's not a lot of that in Mass, is there? Like swimming in lakes, that kind of thing.
You mean in
Or is there-
Massachusetts? Or yeah.
Yeah.
Oh
I mean,
yeah,
there
we
was
do
one up
that
in
here
Boston.
everywhere.
Yeah. Mhm.
Oh yeah, yeah. There's lakes
Yeah.
all over the place. There's lakes for swimming around here. All over. I swim all over the place.
Yeah, no, fair enough.
Yeah.
Yeah, just there's not many of them here at all, but there is one close to us, so it was quite nice to go there Sunday and
Yeah.
have a little swim in the lake, which was good. So yeah, but so other than that, it's just been working, boiling, and then retreating into the cinema room. Although having said that, the other thing is, what I do like about my cinema room, because it's in the middle of the house in this garage,
Yeah.
no
It's
windows.
Right.
it stays cool. Yeah, it does
Yeah.
stay cool, and it's
Yeah.
lovely. And so yeah, very, very pleasant. So I know Holger's just saying in the chat there, saying it's hot in Germany too. Too
Yeah.
hit. So I'm assuming meanings too hot. I mean, too hot for watching movies in my HT in my attic.
Oh,
yeah, of course,
God,
hot
yeah.
air rises. So yeah.
That's awful.
Whereas mine is like having an air conditioned room. I mean, the hotter it gets on
Right.
the outside, the cooler it feels in there. So I
Yeah.
have been able to escape in there a couple of times in the last couple of days, and it's just been like, oh yeah, okay,
Yeah.
this is lovely.
Yep.
So that is one of the bonuses of an internal home cinema, as it were.
Yeah, it's
rather
double
than,
the insulation.
Yeah. Oh,
You're
very nice, very nice. But there we go.
Yep.
I do have a question, Deej, but I'm happy to save
All
it till
right.
after we've started the show if you want.
Yeah, I don't have a question as much as a comment about where we are, the day of the week, and all that. And it's something that dawned on me yesterday, that another service that this podcast provides, and we'll talk about that on the end.
We're nothing if not serviceable.
Oh, exactly. Yeah, it's serviceable. Yeah, we're serviceable. All right. All right. You ready to get to it?
Ooh. Yeah, sorry.
What?
Paul, do I sound a bit weird? It sounds like I sound a bit off mic, Paul is there.
Who said that?
Paul. Yeah. Let me
No,
check.
sounds good to me.
Yeah.
Sounds clear to me.
Yeah, it's definitely on my normal one. Yeah, it's on the
Yeah.
one. What
Yeah.
you might be hearing, Paul, in fairness, you might be hearing the fans off to the back, but I've got to have them, otherwise I am going to melt.
Yeah. But I'd be surprised I I can't hear it. I don't hear it that bad. You don't sound that much different to me.
Okay.
So.
I'll try and okay.
All right.
Yeah, thanks guys. Just let me know. Apologies if it is weird, but
Yeah.
like you say, fellas, if I don't have this fan on, I'm gonna burst into flames like Firestarter.
Yeah. All right. Let's get this going. You ready? The buttons around here.
We are Brightside Theater.
Hey, home theater nerds. Welcome to the Brightside Home Theater Podcast, a multi-award winning, giving and receiving home theater podcast. It's all about the experiences, the sights.
The sounds.
The scenes.
What
See,
was
don't
that?
trip over
face?
my words, dude. I
I
didn't
know.
trip over my words.
I
God.
was like, yeah, some weeks are smoother than others, but you don't have to make faces. you don't trip over your words. You have two.
Exactly. There you
Yeah,
go. That's all I'm good for.
You're like, the scenes. That's it. The
The
scene.
Oh,
If you trip over that,
By the way, Deej, right? By the way, this is something I have noticed in the last few weeks, maybe months. You know, when way back when, and I said to you repeatedly, "Do your English accent. Let me hear you do your English accent." Every now and then, you do it, and you didn't want to do it before, and you wouldn't do it. Yeah. You wouldn't do it. You're like, no, I'm not doing that. But every now and then, you do. It does creep in, and you repeat stuff back to me, doing your English accent, which is fab. I think it's
really,
great.
Fab.
Yeah, you do. Yeah, it's
There you
fab.
go.
There you go. See,
Fab.
So
That's
good.
not me doing it. That's one word. That's easy.
Yeah, but you
That's
do.
like
Every now and then-
aluminium. I'm not doing an accent. I'm just saying the word wrong.
Oh yeah, but you do, yeah. Every now and then you quote it back, and then when I listen back to it, I think I've got to say to it. I keep forgetting.
Yeah.
So there we go.
Oh, that goes back to the original, the first time you were on the show. You asked me to do it. I said, no, no way.
No way.
You're the man that does the accent. So
Um,
let me,
Right.
before we get to that, the service I thought of yesterday, the other service that Brightside Home Theater Podcast provides. Thinking about yesterday, how it was Monday, you get the day off and it screws the day of the week up because now you go to work today and you're like, oh, it feels like a Monday, blah, blah, blah. And I'm like, it made me think of Mondays. Everybody knows Mondays it's Monday. First day back to work. It's, for the general population, it's like Monday's back to work. Wednesdays, hump day, halfway through the week. It's awesome, right? Thursdays is the first night you get. Thursdays, like it really is the beginning of the weekend. That's how everybody looks at it. Like Thursday night's great. Fridays, it is the weekend. Here we go. Saturdays, it's weekend time. Sunday, the Lord's Day, whatever. It's the weekend. Every day of the week, like universally has a like label, except Tuesdays. What are Tuesdays? They're literally nothing. It's not. It's a day between Monday, the first day of the week, and the middle of the week. It's nothing until we came along, and then that's the day of Brightside Home Theater. And it just dawned on me yesterday. I'm like, oh, okay. But Tuesdays, poor Tuesday. It's like, isn't that like the greatest day of the week now? It's like
written in the stars, Steve. Written in the stars. That's what it is. Yeah, that's it. We absolute service. I mean, I have to say though, and I'm lucky in that I never think like that. I mean, one, I work 7 days a week, so I suppose I don't have that. But I genuinely, and I do say this to people when they do mention that. Genuinely, I never feel that way. I'm in a job that I enjoy enough. I genuinely never got to Wednesday. I've been like, oh God, how close is the weekend? Never. Because of the ever-changing world, and it's a job that I enjoy.
And sometimes you're on the weekends, you're off during the week. It's a rotational thing. Yeah, exactly. I've been that way for a while now. Like I usually work all the way through the weekends anyway, so it's like one day after another. It's but like anybody else, most of our habits go by everybody else. Like the people around you is like, oh yeah, today's Monday. Everybody else is going, where is everybody? It's like, oh yeah, they're all working, So,
oh man. All right. Well, let me say hi to everyone in the chat, and then I'm going to ask my question, which is going to be interesting. I'm really curious to see what you make of this, and everyone in the chat as well. Okay, so a new debutante, as in first in. So Old School Kung Fu Films was first in tonight.
First in,
so
nice.
Fair play, yeah,
nice.
Good to see you, buddy. And then followed by Rach, who was in next. So hey, Rach. Dom is in. Bonsoir, Dom, having seen The Mandalorian and Grogu with his family. So fair play. Hold tight to that one, Dom. And then Mike Piatadosi's in as well, asking if we're going to be reviewing Fight Club in 4K. I mean, who can say?
I don't know.
Yeah, I just wouldn't, spoiler alert.
First rule, don't talk about.
That's it.
We can't
it because
we're going to abide by the first rule.
Yeah,
and there's our review. Thank you very much. Moving on.
I'm Tyler Durden.
Yeah.
Okay, so hey, Jordan's here. Hey, Jordan. Also saw Mandalorian. Beth's in. Hey, Beth. Good to see you.
Beth, what's up?
Yeah, so Beth's in.
How you doing?
How you doing? And we've got the one that we can't ever seem to pronounce.
Which one's that? I just went to look at another folder. Hang on a second.
Yeah.
You've got me all screwed up.
Yeah. Get on with that one. Yep.
Where's it? Oh, just give me
what you said.
Exactly. God bless you.
Yeah. That's it. Oh yeah. Although fair play to him or her. Says rainy days are the best for home theater.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
Yeah. Or snow days.
Snow days
as well.
Excessive heat, rain.
Oh yes. All that stuff, all that extreme weather.
Yeah.
But
just not
tornadoes,
power outages. That kind of inhibits the whole thing.
Mm-hmm. Or tornadoes, which tend to rearrange your home theater, but the surround sounds good. Holger's in as well. Hey, Holger. And Paul's in saying, sorry, I'm late. Well, Paul, this just won't do. And Bill McAllister's
we'll start over.
Yeah, it's and action. So Captain AC3's in saying, did I miss anything? No. And then Johnny Speaker saying, happy Tuesday, friends. So, hey, Johnny. So, yeah, gang's all here. Yeah. Nice people in. And again, if you're here for your first time, or if you have been here loads and you've never really said hello, please feel free to. It's always nice to say hi. Okay. Can I ask my question then, Deej?
You just did.
Excellent. There we go. May I ask my question, please, Deej?
Yes, you can.
Yes, you may.
Yes, you may.
Yes, you may. Yes, you may. All right. So, okay. Now, I don't know if you've seen the internet today, but if you had, okay. Well, if you had, there is a thing on about Russell Crowe. It's everywhere today. Everywhere.
Oh, okay.
Okay. So
I have not seen this.
He was in Paris, and he was in a hotel, and he exited the hotel to find a throng of what appeared to be professional autograph hunters. That's what they look like. They're always armed with 50 copies of, photos and that stuff. And so Russell Crowe, in fairness to him, said, look, guys, don't rush me. Everybody stay where you are. I will come to you. And the first person that acts like I won't use the word he did, like an idiot, and I'm going. Okay.
Yep.
So he just set the rules. He said, right, everyone heard that? Everybody listening? Fine. And the reason he did it is because he wanted people to get in and out of the hotel and, in the entrance and obviously.
Yeah, he doesn't want to be a distraction and
exactly.
a safety issue and all of that. Yep.
Absolutely.
Got it.
And TMZ had a right go at him about that and said, shows the fans aren't number one priority, which I thought was very mean and unnecessary. But
they aren't. They come second to public safety. Come on.
Well, personal safety as well, I'm sure.
Yeah, but I mean, now you're in third. So they aren't the first priority.
So, and Russell Crowe actually responded to that in a very sensible way too. But anyway, so that got me thinking. So these are clearly professional autograph hunters. And it feeds into, of course, last week when you got your personalized jersey, didn't you? Very cool. So here's my question.
You see the sleeve of it hanging right there.
Oh, yeah, cool. Yeah, there it is. Very cool. Yep. So, right. So the question is this then. So assume there's no suggestion in this particular scenario that the autograph is fake. Okay. Mm-hmm. But would you buy, or do you see the merit in buying something that has been autographed? So just a signature, no personalization. Do you see the merit in doing that? Again, assuming that it's real or not. Because these professional autograph hunters, they sign these things and stick them on eBay, and people then buy them. And my personal view is, I can't understand why you'd want something that somebody else got signed, that is not personalized in any way. It has no value that I can understand. I mean, to me, an autograph should be the start of an anecdote, should be the start of a story. I met them. And they signed this, and they were either great or they were an a-hole, or you know what I mean, or whatever. That, to me, that's what it should be. And of course, yours comes with that story, doesn't it? Because of you met in this.
Correct, and that's exactly what I said. So to be clear, like just to give you a quick answer, kind of, I think, but even on this, when I said to Paul, I said, hey, I know you're doing that thing in May. We came up with this like a month or so, or 2 months ago, and I was like, I'd love to get an autograph. I go, but I don't just want a name, because I want it personalized. This is, and Paul knows that. I go second to hockey, or 1A and 1B is hockey and home theater. So to have him on my show, have Miracle on Ice, and have all of this stuff, and then meet him, the movie, talking this stuff, having on my home theater podcast, doing this, everything like that, and that's what made it so, like, how these things two things intersected, and gets me the opportunity to have it be personal, right? So I was like, and I don't know what he's going to write, but just something to, DJ, whatever. So Paul and him came up with that, which is fantastic. And Paul and I talked about it after the show too, like how it's, what it's inscribed. It actually has home theater, connotations to it, plus miracle of, believe it, bright side. Do you believe in miracles? Blah, blah, blah. Yeah, it's all of that stuff. So yes, everything has to be personalized. To me, it's like I have not quite a few, but I have a few autographs of athletes, but it's all people that I met. And I did a drawing. It's like they'd autograph my drawing. So it's like I'd go and meet them, and I have a story for all of them, with the exception of one. And that was one I couldn't get to the athlete at the time, and my grandfather did it for me. So but I have that story. But the only way I would say different, and I don't know if this is the question that you were going to, but would be if it was like, I know Joe Klosnick I think he has like the Star Wars poster with a bunch of I forget how many of them, but it's like something like that. It's a collector's item. That I don't need to do that and get get them. Obviously, because, Carrie Fisher's not alive anymore, I don't need to see that. But it would have been cool. I know people have done that. They go to the different, Comic-Cons, and they get it, and they personally do it. I knew a guy that got, what did he get Tombstone autographed by Val Kilmer? Just only a few years ago. Only like probably since doing the shows, so within the last 5 years. And I was at that show. It was in Connecticut. And there's a huge line for Val Kilmer, and he was pretty bad off at the time, but
Mm.
he went in, met him and everything. And the guy was like, you know, he's awesome to sign it. But yeah, it's like, I really do like, I don't want to just buy it for the sake of buying an autograph.
Mm.
And a lot of times when I meet people, I don't even want the autograph. I have the story.
That's the thing, isn't it? Yeah. Mhm.
Right. So do you have any autographs of people that you've never met, or are
No,
you? I
no,
feel like you and I have
no.
talked about this before. Like,
Yeah, well,
you've
that's
met
the thing.
people, it's just a story.
As I was thinking about this earlier, I did wonder if we had discussed it before. I wasn't sure if we had, but yeah, I would never dream of buying anything really online that had been autographed by somebody else. Someone had got the autograph from someone else, because it doesn't mean anything. It's like, it's just impersonal. It just doesn't feel kind of with it. I mean, I've got Brad Pitt's autograph from when we met him at the Beowulf premiere, because he signed one of the boards, which was very cool. And I've got that framed, actually. I had it in the old cinema room, but it's up in the attic now. I mean, I've got my copy of The Descent signed by Neil Marshall. Again, I met him at the con and had him sign it. And Craig Conway was there. Same with, I've got one of the people from the Hostel movies signed in my Blu-ray of the Hostel. And again, it's like the interaction, the meeting them.
Yeah.
The autograph is the start of the story, start of the anecdote. I got this signed when, not I went on eBay and I clicked on this and I got a Gladiator thing that's signed by Russell Crowe. It's like, well, yeah, and you know, it just felt so impersonal.
Right.
I can't really get my head around it. And I spoke to a couple of people earlier this evening. We were just talking, and funny enough, one older, one younger. And the older person that I spoke to said, yeah, I wouldn't want that either. I don't understand why you'd want a signature when there's no anecdote that goes with it.
Right.
Although the younger person was like, well, I'd quite like this, and I'd like that, and I'd like this. So, you know, it's not just, it's not all of us.
It is a collector's item type thing. Like I said, like a movie poster, and where it comes in, it's not necessarily something I would buy for myself, but it's something they make great gifts. Right. Somebody wants to do that. I have one autograph. I have an autographed picture of Bruce Springsteen that my sister got me one year for Christmas, and she was like near tears because she bought it online and it showed up and it was just a copy.
Oh,
like it wasn't even like the picture. It was a copy of the picture of the autographed picture. Right. So like, and she felt awful, but there you go. Now I have a story to go with that my sister, you know, and I felt awful for her, and she still gave it to me, and she paid decent money for it, but it was literally like, and it's like not even false advertising. It's just an autographed picture. You're not wrong. It is, but it's just not real. And it's like whatever it was. But so, you know, it's more about like, I can't say I don't understand it, because there are certain things, like I said, that poster example, like I don't need to meet Mark Hamill and you know, Harrison Ford and Carrie Fisher to have that, or even like a Spielberg or Lucas be like, if somebody gave me that poster of like E.T. and Spielberg signed it, you know, I'd be like, okay, that'd be awesome. I'd be hanging in my room, or, you know, James Cameron and it's, you know, T2, be like, that would be incredible. The one Joe and I are talking about right now is you can send, when the Project Hail Mary comes out, it already is like, you could send a copy of the novel to him, and he'll order what was the author's name?
Oh, I'm not sure. Yeah, I'm not sure.
It's like
I say Rocky signs it, you know.
Yeah, it's like, so, but you could, if you ship it to him, he'll sign them. So what we want to do is I'm going to ship a copy, 2 novels and 2 copies of the 4K Blu-ray, have him sign all of it, and our copies of The Martian, because he wrote that as well. But The Martian, we have Neil deGrasse Tyson signed, remember? And I gave one away on the show, because we went and saw Neil deGrasse Tyson and brought a copy of The Martian. I brought 4 copies of it, and he signed them for us, because you meet him after the show.
Yeah,
so that was
cool. Again, there's a story with it, isn't there?
Yeah.
Please tell me you're going to have the author date, dear DJ, fist by bump signed.
How many people probably ask for that? You know?
Rocky Fix.
Yeah, Rocky Fix. Yep. But
well, so the other thing one other good story. One thing I've just remembered now. I've got an HD DVD box set. It's the only one I still got of any HD DVDs of Hero Season 1, and I met Greg Grunberg at one of these cons, and I was chatting to him and it was in the middle of the writer's strike. And I said to him then, he was really friendly. He was lovely. We were having a little chat. And I said to him, well, is the fact that you're here meaning that you're not then in season 2? Like, what's happened? Like, why is that? And he was saying, no, it's the writer's strike. That's why I'm not in it. And he signed it to Steve. See you in season 2, Greg Grunberg.
Oh, nice.
Which I thought was a cool little thing.
Awesome.
Yeah, so I've still got that. That's up in the attic again, but that was quite a cool little thing that he did. He's a really nice guy. Really nice chap. So yeah, but I like I said, I think it should go with an anecdote. It shouldn't be just I went on eBay. So what Jordan's saying here, he's got a friend of mine, he says has got a copy of Die Hard signed by Bruce Willis.
That's awesome.
Now, if you met Bruce Willis and you got that signed, I mean, that's an anecdote all day long. I mean, that's a showstopper. But if it's like I went on to eBay and I clicked on this and then this arrived weeks later, that doesn't, even with Die Hard, doesn't really mean that much to me. And I'm sorry to say, I don't belittle those that do have interest in it. I had a friend once who used to import DVDs, and when you went around to his house, like his entire lounge, I'm not kidding, he was with his partner, they didn't have any kids or anything, his entire lounge, all 4 walls were literally covered in signed photos, which he bought from eBay. Just
it's a collector's
no connection
thing.
to it. Just there it all is, and it just felt so hollow to me. It's such a just me. It's just my opinion, but it did feel really hollow. It's like, why you need something to go with it. You need that I met them, and even if it is Russell Crowe, and even if he just grunts at you and signs it, you still met him. And you still spoke, it's still face-to-face contact.
Yeah.
Although
I always have a good story because I always stick my foot in my mouth when I meet these people. It's like, so it's always it never ends up as a grunt. It's always like, I'm an idiot. Like, I met Adam Oates. He played for the Bruins at the time. And he was signing at a local department store or something. And I found out that day. So I literally, that morning, I found out he was signing. And I did the drawing in like 2 hours, went down, and it was still in my sketch pad. And I just opened the sketch pad. And I'm like, and I had made color copies so I could get a few. And my buddy was with me. And I get down there. And one of the ones I wanted to get was from my grandfather, like I said, who had signed, he had gotten Ray Bork signed for me. So I open my sketch pad. Now, I'm sure you know, it's like when you watch these people sign, it's like they come along, they sign, and they look up at you, go, hello, move along, hello, move along, hello, sign, and they don't say move along, but they slide over the picture or whatever. So I come up, and they had said at the time you could only get one thing signed. So I have my picture, and I had a few others, but they were for other people. So I slide this down. I'm like, if I can only get mine done. And my buddy was with me so I could get the one for my grandfather. If I could get extras, he was going to get one too, and then something else. Right. But anyways, so I put it down, and Adam he stops and he goes, whoa, because it's a drawing of him. Right. And he's actually like taken aback by it. He's like, oh, this is great. Now I'm nervous. I was probably like 19 at the time or something. I'm like, okay. And he's like, this is great. You go, did you do this? I was like, he goes, anything you want me to write? I was like, just that I know you're only supposed to do one. Can you just write? And my grandfather was in the hospital. I go, could you just write, this is for my grandfather. I said, can you just write, get well soon? And he goes, absolutely. I go, and then I go like this, in your name. And he's about to sign. He's like this. And he looks up and he goes, he's sitting at a table. Like, of course, my name. So like, and almost every time I meet somebody, I have something stupid like that. Like, it's like, oh, in your name. Like, oh, okay. You want my autograph too? Yeah.
I mean, talking of funny stories like that, but from the other side, I saw someone. So over here, there was a series called Red Dwarf. I think it did come over in the US eventually, but anyway, it was a sort of a sci-fi series from the 80s. It was a comedy sci-fi series called Red Dwarf. And I was at a con once, and they were signing, and I was just stood watching. I wasn't that bothered, but they produced this incredibly elaborate book from the series. It was like a £150, so nearly a $200 book, right? Big, leather bound book. And as I was stood watching, I don't know why I was watching because I didn't really care, but I did. And so anyway, so they opened the book up. They gave it to these two guys who were the kind of the leads of the show, and one of them signed the wrong name, and he had to cross it out.
He autographed the
sign it
wrong,
again.
like his.
He did.
Does he have
He did.
did he have another name?
Well, he didn't sign it in his character name. Whether he just had a brain fade or whatever, he signed the wrong name and then had to sort of scribble it out in this £150 collector's item book.
Oh my god!
Which is
now that's even worth more. Somebody
Well,
forgot his own name.
not from the look on the face of the person who owned the book.
Yeah, that's
So it was like, oh
God.
man, it's like, oh, I really awkward. And he's like, I'm so sorry. And this poor guy
So
goes,
sorry, I screwed up
Yeah.
my autograph.
yeah, I don't even know my own name. I mean, to be fair, the amount of drugs they did, I suspect they didn't know their own names. But you know,
What day is
was-
it? I'll tell you what my name is. I'm a different person every day.
Yeah, that's it. But you did want my name, just making sure.
Yeah, that's funny. Yeah, well,
But there we go. Anyway, so yeah, okay. Well, that's interesting, and I think most people in the chat, I think, broadly agree. I mean, I'm like I said, I'm not criticizing someone that does get value from it, but I personally like it's a conversation starter. Someone comes around, sees that autograph. Ooh, what's that? Oh,
Yeah.
funny you should ask. You know, rather than a kind of, clicked on eBay, didn't I? Yeah, arrived in the post next day, didn't it?
yeah.
Okay, moving on.
I was up late one night, so shopping, and I found an autograph picture, and it's like, oh, you didn't meet him? No.
But
You
is it
know.
the very thought? Yeah, it just
Yeah.
seems a bit weird, but there we go.
Yeah.
But I thought, for the record, Russell Crowe handled that like a pro. And if you go on and see it, I mean, you know, he
Yeah.
really does lay it down to these people.
It's-
And we've got and we know he's an all right guy in real life because we know a little story, don't we, from Carl that we can't tell on air.
Yeah.
About when they first met on the set of Unhinged, which I love. And I tell
Yeah.
everybody that I meet off air that talks about Russell Crowe
Yeah.
because it's a brilliant story. And Carl tells it in such a good way. So, yeah, we know he's a good bloke.
Oh yeah, yeah. Well, yeah. I mean, isn't that weird though? Like, I mean, this is a whole other tangent, but there is something to be said, like for people's persona that you can kind of pick up on it, and it's not through their acting, of course. It's through like other stuff, and it's like, but even that is all. It's how they cultivate it, right? But I mean, if they can only show you certain sides, but you know, especially this day and age, if you're a dink, it's going to leak out. It's going to, you know, you're
Well,
going to find
everyone's
out
got a
about it.
camera. Everyone's got
Yeah.
a phone. It's not like the
Yeah.
old days where you had to have a
Yeah.
a big camcorder on your shoulder. You know,
Right.
and everybody's got a 4K, multiple bit phone, recording device in their pocket at any
Yeah.
moment. You act like an idiot. It's going around the world.
Yeah.
And I mean, this is the thing, isn't it? Not only have you got 4K, Dolby Atmos sound, pretty much, you've got in everybody's pocket, but you can send that around the world with one button.
Oh yeah, and it's. I mean, that's
so-
anything you get the right stuff, it goes viral like that, and it's like,
Yeah,
I mean,
that's-
it could have
and that's
happened
it.
30 seconds ago, and it's like,
Mhm.
bang, 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 bang. Like,
Yeah. Oh
Yeah,
yeah.
so-
Yeah. Well, this is on
Yep.
everything. This clip today is on everything. It's the
Wow.
only thing you're seeing on Twitter today.
yeah,
And and everything else. So, but there we go. But so that's what occurred to me.
That's
But I think
cool.
we may have discussed it before. What's John like with that then? Because he's got loads of memories.
John's big into the autographs, but he wants to meet him. He'd go to the
Yeah.
Comic Cons, and he would wait in the lines and meet the people. He's bigger into, like, I'm not even into that. Like, for me, like, I've been to the Comic Cons. Joe and I would go. My son and I would go, and we'd go to the lines and watch the people in line to see, and you'd feel bad for the people. They're like, "Hi, nice to meet you," and you're doing this. It's like, I don't want to wait in this big long line to get up there and go, "Could you sign this for me?" And he goes, "Yep, sign it." That to me is almost like being on eBay, right? Like, I want, like, I'd wait in the line to say hi to him and go, "Wow, I really loved you in this. Have a nice day. Gotta go." And just compliment them and move along. It's like that
Yeah.
to me would be more like than an autograph. Like, would the ones I do have, it's like I'd run into these people. And yes, I did get Adam Oates's by waiting in that line. But the other ones were like, I found out a way to, like, I knew them or I met them. And I said, hey, if I do a drawing, can I do this? And that's how I would get it done. But it was like, yeah, it was just, I just feel bad, especially at those Comic Cons. They sit there for hours and hours and
It's
just
no
sign.
fun. Well, this is why it was fun talking to Neil Marshall, the director of The Descent, and having him sign my Blu-ray, because at that point, Blu-rays were still very new, and he hadn't even seen the Blu-ray version of his own movie.
Oh wow.
So we had about a 20-minute talk about. I think I said to you before. He's like, right. So this particular scene, what did that look like? And did you notice anything in that? And were there any changes to the shot? What was the color quality like? And we were chatting, the transfer for 20 odd minutes. It was great. He was fascinated by it. It was all still very, very new to him. So yeah, and it was an American Blu-ray that I had. So of course we were in England. He hadn't seen it.
Oh wow.
That was fun. That was cool. Talking to a director about it was, the director of that movie who still hadn't seen that transfer was all kinds of fun.
You had something he didn't.
All righty. Okay.
All right.
That was a good one. Oh, I like that. That was fun.
Yeah, that was a fun one. I like the questions.
I like the questions.
All right. Are you ready to get to the our show title? We'll get to right up front, kind of.
Oh, yeah. Here we go. Yeah, well, go on.
So, all right, here we go. Well, I'll let you saw it before I did, so I'll let you. I've seen it twice. You've only seen it the one time?
Yeah, only once in cinemas. Yeah, I'll see a copy.
That's enough for you.
For now.
Yeah, here we go.
Okay, so as you might have guessed from that giant standee that I took a photo of when I walked into the foyer. So last Friday, the very first showing at this Odeon Lux IMAX theater, 9:30 in the morning. I took the day off, and I went along to check this out. And this was the only showing all weekend that actually had seats. The rest of them were sold out. All the IMAX showings,
the early morning ones,
sold out. So I went in and saw this, and it was the same theater I saw Mortal Kombat 2 in. So of course, everything that applied when I talked about the experience applies on this. So good to know, because this was a bit more busy than the Mortal Kombat 2 one. That didn't detract from the experience. Looked great, sounded great. IMAX, yay! So that's good news. I had a flashback during this. Very interesting, and you think, "Oh, there! Look, that's an even bigger standee." Check that out.
Look at this. That's where I saw. That's not at the IMAX.
Big.
I saw it. Like I took this. It's in the Millbury one, Showcase X Plus. I saw it there first on Friday afternoon after work, and then I also saw it yesterday at a
nice.
What is it, the Cineplex or whatever? I forget.
Is this the hour one from you? The one
it's actually a different one. This is an actual IMAX. The one that I went to before wasn't actual. This is an actual IMAX theater. So this one here, and let me see, I do have some pictures from it. Let me drop them in here. It's let's see, there's that one. This is what it looks like on the inside, but this has just got the regular chairs, but it had the real IMAX screen. It had the real. Let me see if I hit. So if you see it from here,
they still cleaning it from that's the cleaning.
That was actually after. This is while I was sitting there waiting for it to start, and those people are pretty close to me. The screen is further away from where they are. But where's the outside the theater? It's the Cinemark. There you go. So this is what it looks like. This is what it looks like on the outside. It's just a Cinemark IMAX XD. The one I'd seen before was at a different location, but they only had the XD. All right. So this one was the real IMAX, the screen and all that. What's that?
Brown.
Yeah, exactly. I know. Not very impressive on the outside.
So it's on the inside that counts, Steve.
Yeah.
That's what I'm always being told.
But
okay.
Yeah. So go ahead. So then we can talk about the experiences from there.
Yeah, man. So I had a flashback in the best way, right at the beginning, pretty much. So I've told the story before. Empire Strikes Back was the first Star Wars film I saw in theaters because I was too young to see Star Wars. But and on the way I remember this is on the very last night of it being shown in New Zealand, my parents drove me from Hamilton, where we lived, to Auckland, which was 60 miles, which is a long way in New Zealand. All the way, final night, to see Empire Strikes Back on, and again, bearing in mind, I would have been 6, 7. The way I remember it is the screen was massive. It was a huge old school cinema. And I remember being blown away. One of the only thing I can clearly remember from the entirety of Empire Strikes Back at that age were the walkers.
Yeah.
And I remember looking up and this huge screen and seeing these walkers, and my world was rocked. It was just like, wow. And so early on in this film, on an IMAX screen, a shot comes out of nowhere. I mean, this is not a spoiler really because it's in the trailer.
Yeah.
There is a very quick shot that comes out of nowhere, low down, looking up at the walkers on a huge IMAX screen. And I had a clear as day flashback to all those years ago. Suddenly, I was 7 years old again in this screen, looking up at this giant walker, and my mind was blown. That could have ended there. This was, 5 minutes in? The movie could have ended there, and I'd have told you I loved it. And that would have been fine. That would have been all right with me. That sense of nostalgia came out of nowhere. It was amazing. And as quickly as it came, it went. But it was so cool.
But I think that's Favreau and Filoni. It's not an accident. I
sure
think
it's not.
You're not the only person to have. That's why they did that shot, because now, like I said, I've seen it twice, and it didn't take the second viewing to notice some of these things. But I can't tell you what they are off the top of my head right now. But when you watch this movie, there are so many, like your point right there, shots, but there are so many sounds that I think are literally ripped from like episode 4 and Empire Strikes Back. There are sounds that are going to hit those nostalgic notes that if you don't have that nostalgia, it's just another sound in the movie. And it's almost, they're like Easter eggs, right? Like you'll hear it and you'll go, what the, and be like, and it gives you that feel from when you were a kid, and you almost can't even explain it to anybody sitting with you or around you. Couldn't go, did you? Because it's too late. You just heard it and you got the chill, and you can't. And when we get at home, you'll be like, you can back it up and go, that right there, I remember that when I was a kid. It's like whatever that sound was. And I feel like the movie was like filled with that. And you, it was that one, and especially early on. That's a great way to start off the movie. And that gets to like what we've been saying about trailers, how the trailers put you in a bad mood. You do something like that early in the movie, the rest of the movie to you is gravy. You're just like, this is the best movie ever, because you're just filled with that nostalgia that you're like, any flaws in a movie after that is so forgiven. You're just like, I'm a kid again. Thank you very much.
It was great. I mean, it's not just sounds that have echoes and shots. There's also some movement. So there, and again, I'll dance around it a little bit, but there is a fight in an arena where some of the creatures move and do moves that we've seen before.
Yes.
And actually very clearly. And so it's one creature that you've seen before doing a move to another creature that we've seen before many, many times. And that was, I was grinning like an idiot looking at that. I'm like, I know what that's from.
Yeah.
And it was great. So, I mean, there are, it's definitely filled with that. And I mean, overall, I did really enjoy it. I wouldn't say I loved it. It's not, again, people have been saying in the chat a bit earlier, it's not classic Star Wars. It's not going to be, this is not going to, for me, it felt to me like binge watching season 4 of the show, because it's really episodic, like very episodic. I mean, it's like split into 6 chunks, like this was going to be a series. And it did feel
you can
that
feel
way
it.
To me.
You feel that you like the fade to black comes back, and you're like, well, there's an episode, and it almost felt like, all right, let's do a little bit of the negativity before we get back to the home theater experience and all the goodies and the good stuff. Get back to that. But one thing I would say, and why I feel like that they made this into a feature presentation instead of a season, is because think of this as a season, it would be horrible, because all those cuts, there was no cliffhanger. right? Like when you watch a season, you can't wait for the next week. They leave you at something and you go, oh my God. In all of those edits where you felt like, well, there's the end of an episode, you're like, I don't even care about the next season because it's not a cut. It's just nothing. Nothing in this movie was so like you were not hinged on anything. Right. You weren't hanging by a thread on anything in this movie. So you knew not that you knew the ending, but the story was almost inconsequential. You're like, okay, here's a story. He's going on a mission. That's it.
Yeah.
It's really, you know what I mean? And it's like, but here's the thing. That's how I felt about the entire movie. And I was petrified that I was going to read all these reviews of how horrible it was because people were going to get into the nitty gritty on how the story stunk or the story did this. But I'm happy to hear there are people saying stuff like that. I haven't read it, but I know there are some negative. I don't know what it is. I'm imagining that's it. But mostly it's awesome reviews. Like people like, it's just so much fun. And that's what it is. And that's why it's packed. It's for the family. It's not for younger kids. That's for sure. Especially in the opening scene. It's like, where Lucas was so upset about Han shooting first. It's like the opening scene of this. It's just literally just somebody gets murdered. It's like, it's not a spoiler. It's at the beginning of the movie, but you're like, just bang. And you're like, that ain't good for younger viewers. And I think that's where you get what is it? PG-13? Yeah. It says on the poster.
Yeah, it is. Bottom left.
Yeah. And that's where you get it. It's pretty violent. There's some gore in it for, space gore, if you will. And some scary stuff for younger viewers. But for the most part, it's just fun, a family fun,
It is. But I think you've used the right word, inconsequential. I think that's exactly what this is. Because we're so familiar with the structure of seasons 1, 2, and 3, both the episode structure, each one tends to be the same. A friend of mine who always he checked out of the Mandalorian series a long time ago. He said every episode, every one, it's Mando, go and get this. Okay, I'll go and do that, and then you'll fight something, and then it's all fine at the end, and then it's see you next week. And so, and he was right about that. And the series is like that. And I think because we're familiar with the structure of the episodes and the overarching of the series, this feels exactly like that. It literally, the beginning, Mando, go and get this Imperial thing. Mando, go and find the hut. Mando, go and do, and it really does feel like everyone's an episode. And also within that 20-minute, 25-minute chunk, and you made it clearer having seen it twice, D, so you'd be probably clearer with it than I would. But it literally felt like, and this is what I mean by episodic, it's like in each 20, 25 minutes of this 2-hour and a bit movie, it was go do this. He goes and does it, resolves it, and then there's the next setup, and then it goes again and again and again and again. Yeah. And it's like it's literally set it up, pay it off. Rather than a movie where you've got 3 acts. Right. It just felt like 6 acts, and it was all resolved, each time. So it did feel like they had got these 6-episode scripts. And I know Favreau and Filoni planned this as season 4. They've said that. A decision was made. They've been quite coy as to by whom, but a decision was made. Let's make this a movie and not a series. I don't think it was by them, by the way, because they have been quite coy about that, but also quite clear about that bit. And I get the impression, exactly as you say, I think they've just removed the last page of each of those scripts, the cliffhanger page, and then just pushed them all together and gone, there's our movie. And it does feel that way. And that's not a serious criticism. It's not a deal breaker by any means. It's just very noticeable.
Yeah, exactly. And again, it doesn't take the fun out of the experience. It doesn't, I guess it would if you're not into the Star Wars universe or anything, or maybe it wouldn't. If you're not into it, you don't know. Maybe if you don't know anything about The Mandalorian, you're highly entertained because it's a story, it's new to you. You know what I mean? Like the whole thing is new. I did hear, you hear people in the first viewing, I heard a baby crying. Somebody brought a young baby in.
Please tell me they were painted green.
Yeah. No. I heard I did hear a little girl that was scared in the first viewing that probably shouldn't have been there. But in the second one in the IMAX theater, and the seats are a little closer together, you know, as you saw, it's like the old fat, like, so you're a little bit more surrounded by people, and you could hear them, like people like, you'd hear conversations like, because Filoni has his cameos in it. He has a couple of cameos in it. And people are like, the first one, he's in the background, and you hear people.
Yeah, the whole table's got Doug Chang and all that lot.
Yeah. But people go right to Filoni, and like, that's Dave Filoni back there. And then you hear, who's Dave Filoni? And then the later one, they're like, that's Dave Filoni right there. You know what I mean? So like in the first one, like you said, it's like he's at a table, and they're like, who is that? And then the second one, it was like, it's clear as day because he's the only one on the screen. And it's like, it's a close up, and it's like, that's him. And they're like, okay, great, that's him. Who's that?
I'll take your word for it.
Narrow down which one you're talking to. What does that matter? Because people aren't, you know, they're not Star Wars fans, you know, so they don't know who these people are. But it's like funny hearing those little things. But you could hear people whispering about like scenes, like you were saying, and stuff like that. Like,
where's Skywalker? Where's Vader gone?
Yeah. Well, there was an R. You don't know. The funny thing is, you don't know if it's an R2 sighting or if it's just another mech droid that's the same color scheme. But there is an R2 sighting or an R2 like sighting, you know. So, but and again, but that's those feels. You're like, is that R2? I want it to be, you know.
Rachel says in the chat, they're saying about, do you think it's worth watching without viewing the series? I mean, I don't know. What do you think, Deej? What do you reckon about that?
I think it's entertaining. Yeah, if you haven't seen the series, it's not like, like think of stuff from the series that you need. Other than like, I mean, everything's in the series. Like you know, it's the title pretty much fills you in on everything up until today. The Mandalorian and Grogu. So you know who Grogu is. We didn't know that at the beginning of the first series. We didn't even know that was a thing before the series started. Yeah. Literally saying that thing. We didn't, and we went through the entire first season without knowing a name. Right? First season, it was Baby Yoda.
Yeah,
and it took almost to season 3 for people to stop calling him that and call him Grogu. Right? Everybody's like, oh yeah, that's Baby Yoda. His name's Grogu. Yeah, I know, but I don't call him that. You know, and now it's so there's really not a lot, because you're not going to not understand any story in this. It's just he's for all intents, if you know anything about, you know, Boba Fett, they're kind of getting him in that like a bounty hunter situation. He's for hire. It's all in the story. It's all in the movie. So yeah, you wouldn't miss anything. If anything, I think this could intrigue you to find out how they all got together. And you'd be like, if you like the movie enough, you'd be like, oh, I'm interested to go back and watch the series. And you'd be like, oh my God, that's how they met, you know, and that it would do that. But you don't need that to enjoy the movie, I don't think. Do you? Do you think you do?
I mean, what I would say, and I mean this respectfully, Rachel, so please take it that way, is that the thing with this is it's available on Disney Plus, so it's available in your home. It's not like you've got to go out to Blockbuster and rent all these movies in it, you know, or this series and do that. If you've got Disney Plus, you've got it right there. And bear in mind, they're all quite short anyway. You could binge watch season 1, 2, and 3 very quickly and then go see this without having to, you know, you haven't got to pay any separately. You haven't got to mess around. You know, it's all there. So I would say, I mean, you certainly can see it without seeing the others, but I think you get more from it if you have seen.
Oh, you always would.
You don't need to worry about.
You would, like Dom says in the chat. There's Easter eggs. You'll see you'll understand more. But then again, there's Easter eggs. Like if you have seen the entire Star Wars saga, you're going to get more out of it too. But I wouldn't tell you had to go and do all of the homework to enjoy this. You're still going to enjoy it. See, what I would do is for Rach, if like she hasn't seen it, I'd go see the movie, then do the series, and then when it shows up on Disney Plus, watch it again and see how much more you appreciate it. You know what I mean? Instead of doing the homework first and delaying seeing the movie, I'd try and do it the other way around. And then she could get an experience that we don't even have because she's never seen anything, you know?
Jordan says in the chat, he said, also love the tribute Easter egg they included as a tribute to Carl Weathers. Steve knows what I'm talking about. Yeah, we have been DMing. But yeah, no, it's a love letter to Star Wars, isn't it? As well as this story. I mean,
Yeah.
again, Favreau and Filoni are as big as Star Wars.
Everything
nerds
they
and
do
fans.
is like a love letter to Star Wars.
Yeah, yeah,
Really,
it is.
you
It
know.
is. Mhm. Yeah.
So
But I did enjoy it. I think it is inconsequential. No one's going to have this on their best of the year lists at the end of the year. I think it'll do modest business on Disney Plus. I'll get the 4K Blu-ray if they release it. Fingers crossed, please. In fact, we might have to reach out to our source on that, find out if they are doing it. It'd be good to know. But I'm sure
I wouldn't be surprised if they are, because all their other feature presentations have gone to Blu-ray. Like all the Star Wars, all the movies, and we're talking Disney here. So all of the movies, all the Marvel movies, all of that, anything that's been a feature presentation has received a physical release, right? So now, to me, it's what do we get in that physical release, and this is where I think that the only place you're gonna get to see the IMAX version with the variable aspect ratios is going to be on Disney Plus, and then the physical release will be in the standard 2.4, 2.35, or whatever.
Yeah.
And I saw it both ways. I really did enjoy. I enjoyed the IMAX variable aspect ratios. I mean, it was a much better experience because, like, when they went into space and stuff, and the screen just gets it, you're like, wow! It's like, there you go. Great. It did make that much of a difference. And it wasn't even. I don't even know if it was 2.35. Do you know what 2.40? I think it was even narrower.
Yeah, I think it was
not narrower. I mean.
Yeah, I think it was 2.35 where I saw it, and then into the IMAX ratio. But it shifts so seamlessly with these seemingly with the newer IMAX things. You forget about it very quickly, and you're just sucked into it. And before you know it, you've just been watching an entire IMAX sequence, and out you come. So it's actually very cleverly layered in with the newer ones. Whereas in the past, you've got the grey bars, so of course it was grey, so you had a reminder every time. Those of us that were home cinema fans, knew when it was changing, because you're like, oh, here comes the grey, oh, it's gone, here it comes again. But now they're so good, these projectors, that they just flip between that, and it's almost subliminal. Not always, but once you're into the movie, it seems to be.
I think what they're doing is, where we're getting the advantages, the brighter they're getting more powerful projectors, so you're getting brighter brights. I don't think it's any more blacker than it was before. It's just they're now able, because when I'm seeing these, it's like it's still not jet black like you get at home on your TV, but the brights are really bright. Like when you see like a nice explosion or something like that, and there are bars, you're like, wow, it's so bright. But then if you take your concentration and look at that black level, it's not as deep. It's not jet black. But it just appears to be, because everything else is so much brighter by contrast. And that's literally your contrast ratio. It doesn't matter how black it is, but if you're 1,000,000 times brighter than your lowest, it's gonna be a big difference. Now, if you get jet black, but you only go 1,000 times brighter than jet black, it's still gonna see dim, but your black levels are gonna be really low. That's great, but it's your contrast ratio. Like, how bright do you get compared to that? So,
it's very, very cool. I mean, now I've got two recent IMAX experiences that I've both enjoyed.
Look, and Paul, right after I just said 1,000,000, sorry, I looked into it. He said the contrast ratio is 1,000,000 to 1. And I was just saying, you know what I mean? That's the big difference. So
that's bright. That's bright. But so I'm glad to say that's two IMAX movies on the bounce without overpowering audio, with great sound, video, lovely. Other thing, did you get an IMAX? Did you get a Grogu IMAX trailer in front of yours? So what you get? So we in front of So there were. So I had one in front of Mortal Kombat 2, and then one in front of this. So they are doing specific movie IMAX trailers. It seems, to each one. With they're counting down the numbers.
Yes, I did get that. Yes, I did get that. That was really cool. It was like, and I was like, oh wow, kind of like our show, the countdown. I was like, oh hey, they're copying Brightside Home Theater. Look at that. But
the scenes.
Anyway.
Yeah, so they did that to Mortal Kombat 2 as well. So you get just before the movie, there's a little movie specific IMAX trailer, which I thought was quite cool. So long may that continue. And as I said, my next one then, hopefully, Masters of the Universe.
I'm not sure what I'm going to do for Masters of the Universe. I might go back to this one because I did like the presentation. I just didn't like the seating. Like, I like your seating.
Oh,
you have it all.
Yeah.
You have the seating
Exactly.
and the presentation. I'm looking for an IMAX around, and there really isn't one where they've done, like, they've revamped the seating as well. And what I'm seeing around here is it's almost like they're like, look, people are coming for IMAX regardless. We don't need to give them the cushy seats yet. But the lesser theaters, they're going to give you the cushy seats, and you're going to go in and be like, oh, this is great. But the presentation isn't as good to us, to you and I. To them, they're like, if they go into an IMAX theater, they're going to like, this stinks. They'd rather have the cushy seats because they don't know the difference between the screen. They don't know what variable aspect ratio is. They don't care, so.
Yeah, no, I am aware of how lucky I am to have this new cinema so close by. Yeah, it's really cool.
Yeah.
I'm going to like live in that place. But yeah, Masters of the Universe in IMAX. I think lots of it has been shot in IMAX. So yeah, I'm going to go and do that next. Hopefully with my Power Sword sippy cup. Obsessed much. So there we go. But there we go. So there we go. That's our first one. Look at that.
All right. There we go. Let me pull this. How do I get on it? Pull these down. All right. Let's go.
Alrighty, come on. Let's go to war, Deeds. Let's go to war.
Go to war?
Yeah.
All right.
You know what's coming next.
Boy. Let me find your graphic for it. Which one was your graphic?
It's like a portrait thing.
Yours. I'm sorry. Yeah, yours is. Let me find
Not
mine.
that one. Not that one.
That's mine.
Yeah, that's it.
And
yeah.
I have to. I'll replace one of these with yours.
Brace yourselves, people.
Oh my God! To be fair, I'm joking. It wasn't that bad. It was fun.
It's not Malignant or Evil Dead Rise bad then.
No, by no stretch. So we will let you. Here we go. There. Nope. There you go.
Okie dokie then. Right. So yeah, look at Dean shifting in his chair. You guys can't see that, but
they can't see behind. I'm like, it's not comfy here.
Okay, so this then, people, is the instant, stone cold, inarguable classic. They will kill you.
You're gonna wish they killed you.
They did with awesomeness.
Oh yeah.
Okay,
God,
so they will kill you. Now, I had to rent this. I could have.
You didn't have to.
Well, no, I did. I really did. I really did. So it was either $9.99 to rent it or £15 to buy it. I should have bought it, but never mind. $9.99. And the reason for that, and I did check with my release guru Jordan beforehand, as to whether there had been any kind of physical media announcement for this. It doesn't look like there is yet. It's imminent. If you type it into Amazon, there's sort of placeholder artwork, so it's coming. There's just no date yet. And I missed this in theaters. This went too quickly.
Me too, Steve. I can't believe it. I waited in line. They didn't have a seat for me.
If only there could have been an IMAX then.
Oh yeah, that's what I need. Oh wow, look at that.
Look at the size of that eyeball. I rented this on iTunes because, that's the one I go to generally, because it was out and I knew it was out and I couldn't wait any longer. And I'd seen some trailers to it that blew my mind. I'd seen some clips to it that just screamed, "Steve, come and watch me." And so I once I realized I could rent it and I could get it, there was no stopping me. And so I put this on, and this was in Dolby Atmos, 4K, Dolby Vision, all the Dolbys. And I watched it on I don't know what night, was it a Friday or a Saturday or a Thursday? I'm not sure. Might have been Friday night, actually. And I was expecting nutcase crazy action movie.
Oh, so you weren't surprised?
Oh, no. So when I put on Twitter after I saw this, just so people, because not everyone's on Twitter follows me on Twitter or knows anything about Twitter that's listening to this. So what I put on Twitter after I saw this was, there's nuts, effing nuts, And then there's this.
Yeah.
And boy, oh boy, oh boy, oh boy, oh boy,
I saw
this
that. Yeah.
is bananas. And so what we get here, we get ZZ Beats, who's on the thing there, who most people I think probably know from Deadpool 2.
Yes.
She's
Yeah.
Domino, wasn't she in Deadpool 2? Yeah, is that right?
It was that Domino. Yeah.
Yeah,
I
the one
think
who's
it
always
was.
lucky. Yeah, lucky. Yeah. Okay. And she is it's a twisty turny story, but at the start of the movie, she turns up at a particular location, applying for a job as a maid, a bit like the housemaid from a few weeks ago. And we very quickly realize this is an unusual place. And that the people that work there are fairly unusual, and the people that live there are more unusual still. And it turns out that ZZ Beats is looking for someone, and is determined to find that person at all costs. And what happens then is an absolute bug nuts, crazy, wild action movie where things happen you've never seen anywhere else. You're never likely to see anywhere else. I mean, it's and I think I told John, I think I said to him in a text to him, and I think you were in on that, Shadid. I think it's like a mixture of John Wick with Kill Bill and Looney Tunes, and all drenched in blood. And that's kind of what you get. It is bananas. And I don't want to give any of it away. I do not want to spoil a frame of this.
I don't know if you could.
Not get sort of taken away for being insane, I suppose.
Other than just telling the entire thing, you'd just be like, it's like, yeah.
Man. Yeah, it was fantastic. I was laughing throughout. I was just, those kind of guffawing, silly, crazy laughter throughout this, and it just kept going and going and going. And I loved this movie, and I will buy this the second it hits. So, Deej, tell us how much you loved the movie. Oh, and so what was your text to us afterwards?
What I forget. What did I text?
Was it just what the ...
Yeah, I was. Yeah, something like that. Yeah, what the with the eyeballs? Like,
yeah,
like what? Yeah, what am I doing? What was that? But it was to everything you're saying. It was entertaining. It was like I got the story. Like the thing I didn't like about Evil Dead Rise was I didn't get the story. Remember? And you guys are all trying to. Well, you've got to know the backstory. And we're like, well, if you have to know all of that, then it's not self-contained, and that's why I didn't like it. Kind of like what we were saying about Mandalorian and Grogu. You don't need to know anything else; you'll still be entertained. This movie here, I don't know if there's a backstory. I don't know if this is a sequel to I Will Kill You, and now it's They. I don't know, or it's like, who knows? I don't know. But it was entertaining. I mean, for exactly what it is. I mean, it's just a gore fest, and it's like, here we go. Like you said, like Kill Bill. I actually thought it was better paced than Kill Bill. Kill Bill, it took two movies. This was quick. It was tight. I think isn't it only like an hour and a half, or is it almost 2 hours?
Hour and 40. I think hour and 40, something like that. It's
quick. I mean, you're entertained the whole time. It is bonkers. It's ridiculous. I would also add in what was the Charlize Theron, the one on Netflix where they survive. It also has that as no. The other one that's a comic book that John and I liked. There's two of them.
Yeah.
Two movies now.
Yeah, I know that's your comic book where they survived. Oh man,
yeah,
right.
I forget what it was.
Please hold.
Yeah, but anyways, it reminded me of that as well. But what did we do on the side over here?
Did I just do something sorry, I don't
know if you did that or I did that.
I think I did that. The old guard. Thanks, Jordan.
Old guard. There you go.
There you go.
Thank you.
Sorry, I did that. Yeah. That's my fault. I clicked on something then. Sorry.
And how do you get it to go back?
Mine's back.
Oh, no.
Just click on comments.
Oh, no. You just shifted this. I must have done that.
Oh, God. Sorry. Sorry.
Oh,
sorry.
So I just put it back there. Anyways, so it's like, but this here, it's like, it's very entertaining. It's comical. The entertainment, how things pan out, and it's her motivation. I thought it had the story, that part of it, her motivation, how the whole thing plays out was actually pretty good. right?
Mhm.
And then the ridiculousness of everything else is just, you can't get more ridiculous.
No,
You
no.
know,
Oh,
and it is the Looney Tunes is the one that had me like, yeah,
mm,
it's that crazy. It's like that, like what they went that far with it, right?
mhm.
And yeah, but yeah, it was a lot of fun. I really I did. I thought it was fun,
Yeah,
and
oh,
like I said, this is where like Evil Dead Rise, it wasn't as fun to me because I didn't
no.
understand the story. I'm looking for a story. This one had it. This one had
Mhm.
meaning. It had feels as much as you can have, but you know, within all that ridiculousness, it's like I thought it did a good job of mixing all of that together.
Yeah.
Um,
Oh.
but it's
I
bonkers.
just I loved it, and what made it even more enjoyable over and above just this crazy story was the home theater experience. I mean,
Yeah,
now bearing in mind, I'm only talking about the stream, digital stream of it. Um, I thought it was very nice indeed. Very, very impressed. Video looked great. It's quite, lots of it takes place at night in the rain. You've
yes.
got a lot of shadow detail. All looks really good. Razor sharp, digitally shot, of course.
Mm-hmm.
I thought it looked great. The gallons and gallons of blood and gore and ick and goo and eyeballs and everything else all look suitably nasty and detailed and everything else, which it's supposed to.
Yeah.
It's one of those things where I think you're supposed to recoil in horror, cover your eyes, but not cover them completely.
Yeah, yeah.
It's one of those things. Yeah, exactly that. Yeah, quite. It's proper like live long and prosper, but
Yeah,
over your
it's
eyes.
like,
Um,
hello.
and I thought that all looked great, and the audio is fantastic, and you get a lovely little bit early on where there's a shot of the exterior of the building, and as the camera pulls back, the rain starts,
Yes.
and you just are
It's
surrounded by this
yeah.
cacophony of noise, and that's right near the beginning, and I'm like, oh,
Yeah.
okay. All right, we're in for a sonic workout here, and that's exactly what I got. I thought it was really, really good.
Yeah. It the rain, the Atmos, yeah, on Kaleidoscape we have it in 4K, Dolby Vision, Dolby Atmos. What I would say after watching the stream, I would say this is one, it's going to be a Warner disc, of course,
Yeah.
and it's just imagine everything you got with taking that light film off the screen because the clarity is going to be upped by just that much, and then the audio is going to go. And now I didn't AB this, but when I say this, I'm saying off of the experiences that we have going from streaming to physical. It's like 99.9% of the time, it's like you get a more dynamic audio experience where it's like the bass is that much punchier, the thunderstorms. I think you'll enjoy when they lock the doors if you didn't already enjoy that, you're going to enjoy that. Stuff like that. The rain, the thunder, stuff like going on outside. It's like, oh, is it raining? Yeah. That you get all of that. The battles, the fights, the blood, the gore. This was so ridiculous. You didn't do this stuff, right? Because it was so stupid. You weren't like, like when I see a real fight, when I see somebody who's about to get their arm broken or something, I've had enough experience with that. Like, I'm like, okay, yeah. And when it's realistic, you're like, oh no, don't do that. I don't want to see that. Well, in this, I'm like, this ain't real. It's like watching a cartoon. I was like, oh yeah, look, Bugs Bunny fell off a cliff. Okay. I'm not wincing. So this is so ridiculous. And it gives you that opportunity to look at it and like read Fangoria magazine and really see the blood in there and see some of the wounds are ridiculous. They are like, it looked, I don't want to give it away, but there was one wound, I'll tell you off air afterwards, that I was like, it looked like they're at the deli. And it was cut meat. And I was like, yeah, I'll have the mortadella. Oh, that's a person. Sorry about that over there. Yeah, it's so bad. It's like, but it was like, and you get your blood spurts, you get all that. But very, very vibrant, if you could say that. But it's like you get your deep reds, you get your highlights to show the wetness, the gooey, like what you were saying. It had all that, and it, like you said, at night, indoor, there, dark rooms. Darkness outside. lots of detail in all of that stuff. So it was a lot of fun. Like I said, it's a lot of fun, and you're not gonna. Again, it's not like you're not gonna be like this. You're not gonna hide your eyes because, or at least I wasn't. You're gonna be this is too much fun. You're just eyeballs locked, going, that's gross. It's silly.
And eyeballs rolled.
Yes, and the noise of that too.
Yeah, wet sort of thing.
Yeah, and then the best is sticky. Like it jumps.
Yeah, I know. I
It
know.
was so funny.
I mean, it's not every day you see a chase sequence with an eyeball, is it really?
Thank God.
It's fairly new.
Fairly new.
I want to see it again. This is one of those times where just talking about it makes me want to see this again. I would watch this tomorrow if I hadn't just rented it and had bought it. I might end up buying it even then. I mean, I just want to see it again. It's so much fun. Paul's just saying in the chat, Paul F's just saying, I'll have to check this movie out. Sounds fun to watch with a small group and a few beers. It's fun to watch whatever you're with, whether you're with a small group, large group, with beers, without beers. Just see it. Yeah. Paul, you're going to love it. You will love it. And I know he's got a kind of a horror and a kind of fun set of interests as well with this sort of thing. So he's going to love it. And I see that Jordan really liked it. So did Dom. And again, those both guys that like this kind of movie. It's great. And John, I mean, I did say to John again, Saccone, he needs to see it. So I'll be curious to see what he makes of it. Todd, again, you haven't seen it, give that a go. And actually Shane Lee, if you haven't seen this, Shane, then if you're listening, give this a go and let us know what you think.
They're all horror fans, but
but also this is a particularly crazy kind of horror that just needs to be seen. By the way, talking of crazy horror, and Todd, he watched Azrael this week. He sent me a screen grab from
Finally?
Azrael. Yeah. Only about 18 months later. But he said he really enjoyed it. Yeah, he said the home theater was really good. Yeah, so he had a great time with that. So there we go.
Nice. It's about time. Well, he's given me a couple of recommendations that I'm like halfway through that. So it's like, oh, whoops, sorry, hadn't seen that one yet.
I mean, he did recommend Begonia, so he's got a free pass forever for that film.
Well, but like you said, that was also up for best picture. So that's a good one.
But this is great. Anybody that does see this that hasn't already chimed in the chat, see it and then please report back. And then you can tell me how much you loved it. I'm just assuming it.
I mean, and you're not going to get a lot of people to see this that weren't expecting, like Send Help. Like we saw people, or we were commenting that people were seeing it that weren't typically horror fans.
Yeah.
And because the trailer didn't lead you in the direction of true horror, this one here is no ifs, ands, or buts. I mean, it's in the title, it's in the graphic, it's in the poster. It's like you're gonna see that. I mean, nobody's gonna stumble into this and go, I didn't know it was gonna be like that. It's like, well, yeah, you didn't know it was gonna be like that, but you knew it was gonna be a murder, people getting killed left and right. And multiple times.
Yeah, and Paul saying, Paul's got, we'll see is just one rung below must see. No, Paul, it should be one rung above must see.
Oh,
so come on, Paul, come on. You're gonna love it as well. I'm telling you, man. This is an impossible not to at least enjoy this movie for all the reasons it's crazy, and you might just love it like I do.
Yeah, I can't say I love it, but it's a blast. It's like I'm not like, oh my god,
different, isn't it? You've not seen this before in this kind of way. And I mean, it's funny. I think I saw a review. Someone said the same thing. Said you might love it or hate it. You've never seen this before.
No. Yeah, you've never seen that before. But I could show you whole movies you've never seen before either. And oh, there's DJ at Christmas. Okay, great.
Paul F saying, hearing great things about Obsession out now too. We talked about that last week, Paul F.
Yep.
Reviewed it last week. Although I've seen some unpleasant and troubling things on Twitter this week about it. Some very, very unnecessary takes. That are distasteful, and unfortunately, I'm sorry to say, one particular podcast that shall remain nameless, where the lead actress was on it with another person who, and I don't know whether it was just a vibe because I only saw a very short bit of it, but what I saw of it was utterly tone deaf. I mean, just like it's like headbutt the screen because it's like, what? Anyway,
Oh,
another
wow.
day. That's another one for the Takeover Tuesday, Dave. We could talk about it then. But yeah,
Yeah.
so I have seen some very, very, very silly takes on that movie this week, to the point where I nearly had a couple of days off Twitter because I'm like, this is not, no. I'm sensing a tweet coming on that might get me in trouble.
Yeah,
So it's like, leave
yeah,
it.
and you don't want to bring more attention to what you didn't even want brought to your attention, right? So that's the hard part about social media. It's like you and I have talked about that in the past. It's like something makes you angry. It's like I'll never forget that time. You're like, who put this on my timeline? That's literally what you said, and I wrote to you. What, like you just put on mine? Thanks. Like, see what you're doing, but that's social media. That's the basic. That's the hardest part. When somebody says something and it pisses you off, just don't say anything, because if everybody just ignored it,
yeah, it goes away.
Let it go.
Which is what I did. But it took a monumental effort. But I did do it. Yeah. That's growth. That's personal development, Deej.
Personal development. I said that before. I said it a long time ago. When people over here would be like, they'd go out in the streets and burn the flag. Okay. You could be for it or against it, but they're going out in the streets and they're doing something to demonstrate, to get a reaction. You know how to get them to stop doing that? Just ignore it.
Not give them the attention.
Imagine if you went in the street and you're like, I'm burning the flag, and traffic says, everybody's like, nobody did anything. You'd be like, well, that did nothing. You go home and nobody would ever do it again. But it's the reaction that you get that gets them to do it, right? It's like, okay. But that's the hardest thing to do. It's the hardest thing to just ignore stuff like that.
Well, I did eventually manage it, but it was not easy. And then that name again. Sorry, I wish you gotta tell us how to pronounce it. Just another of my sons gave a session.
Just Madwick.
Just careful how you say that. Just your what?
Madwick. Oh God.
Oh man. Anyway, so he says another of my sons gave Obsession 11 out of 10. Was it Joe? Joe Klusnick?
Is it? Oh, okay. Did he change it? Like just Madwick? I don't know. I see the J at the beginning and the K at the end, and I got Joe Klusnick, but he's got a lot of middle names in there.
Yeah, there's a lot of consonants in there. There really are.
Yeah. Yes, my initials. All of them. Wow. Okay.
All right, Joe. Well, there you go. So, but rightly so, if your sons did give Obsession 11 out of 10, that is the right number. I mean, it's a great film. Just as I say, there have been some very unnecessary and tone-deaf takes this week from people that clearly don't have a clue what they're talking about and are reading it in all the wrong ways. But anyway, my view only. We'll talk more when it hits disc. I was telling Todd about it today and just said, look, you need to see it. And he was like, it's not on digital. There is some suggestion it may hit within the next couple of weeks on digital. So presumably then Kaleidoscape Deej, because this is going to be awards bait all day long. So Kaleidoscape are bound to get hold of it. So yeah, keep an eye on that. They're trying to push it back a bit like they did with Project Hail Mary, because it's making mega bucks. Yeah. Especially given how cheaply they made it.
I was just going to say, somebody said in the chat it was made for under $1 million, right?
Yeah, remember I said last week 750,000. The budget for one show.
Yeah, our show. Yeah, exactly. They came in under our budget for a single show. So
there you go. Yeah. So so they're nudging 100,000. That's right, 100 million.
100 million
for a 750,000 budget. Yeah, that'd be nice to be an investor on that, wouldn't it?
Yeah, and if it, it'd be nice if we could get somebody to invest in this show and push us over that 750 a show.
Hey,
if we could just get that one person, I wouldn't mind, even if it, 800,000 a show, imagine what we could do. Just that 800,000.
Yeah, it'd be all right.
One show, 800,000. Imagine all the shows after that.
I'm not getting out of bed for less than that.
Yeah.
So there we go. So, but yeah, back, very, very good Obsession. Everyone should see it, by all means, but please think before you tweet about that. That's all I'm saying.
Yeah. You don't have to worry. You don't have to tell me that.
No, absolutely. All right.
Is this is the graphic for your next one, right?
Yeah, that's
no, that's cool.
It's an animated menu. It would not let me do anything else.
Actually, you know how to do that? I don't know if I told you this before. Mm-hmm. This is what I do for the animated ones. Video it. and then
Okay, and then take a still.
still take a still. And I think the iPhone actually lets you create a still out of a frame. You can pause it and go
Oh.
hold it, and it'll say make a still or whatever. Or you could just screen grab the pause. But that's how I get, and then you can actually pause and slide it to get it exactly the image
that's
you
handy.
want, instead of trying to take a picture as it's moving.
Yeah,
and playing.
especially with that, because this was
Yeah.
a weird one anyway because of the
Yeah.
nature of it. Oh, that's worth knowing.
Yeah.
All right, I will do that. There we go.
Yeah, you can try that little tip.
Try, do or
Yeah.
do not.
Yeah,
There is no try.
there is no try. Do or do not. There is no try. So, all right,
Okay.
you ready
Right,
to
so-
introduce this
Oh,
one?
Well, we can't talk about this one, Deej.
Well, we're gonna introduce it and then not talk about it. So here it is, and
Go
and
for it.
and we're
Let's
gonna
do this.
put your graphic up first because it doesn't even have the title. So we'll hit.
Hey,
You know, we're nailing it on not talking about what we're talking about.
so yeah, and pay
All
attention, Mike Piantadosi. This is your request.
Yeah, here we go.
Okay, apologies as I say, guys. That is a dreadful picture. That could be the worst one I think I've ever taken. We are talking Fight Club. So Fight Club 4K UHD Dolby Vision, I think it is, and Dolby and sorry DTS HD 5.1 Master
5.1, yeah.
not Atmos. It is a Fincher movie, and for this one, he was not going to give it an Atmos mix.
And much like
so-
the movie, if you haven't seen the title on the screen, it'll only be there for a frame.
As long as that's the only thing, we don't want anything else shown for a
Yep.
frame.
Yeah,
the movie.
no, no. I've worked those into this title though. Both Steve and I have dedicated a few photos, and you have to pause at the right.
Mine has to be in widescreen, obviously. No 4:3 for me.
Yeah,
So-
Zoom over here.
yeah.
Um,
Oh dear, freeze frame. Right.
Yeah.
So.
it's
16
like, okay,
millimeter.
I'm just gonna leave
No,
that
that's not-
graphic up there right now because Steve's turning red.
16
Oh.
millimeter.
Yeah.
Right. Anyway, that's not the film stock. Okay. Right. So. All right. So
Oh,
let's
boy.
stop our juvenile humor for a moment. So this
Just
is-
a moment.
just for a moment, only for a moment. We can only stop for a moment. Okay, so Fight Club. All right, so this then is the 4K UHD disc. Yours is on Kaleidoscape, I know. And as I say, 4K UHD, but DTS HD Master Raw.
Yes.
And now I might be a little controversial about Fight Club in as much as it's not one of my favorite movies. It's a movie that I really like.
Yeah.
It's a movie that I sort of watch once a generation. So I had the DVD and then the Blu-ray and then now the 4K disc. And as I said, I watch it once a generation and I enjoy it when it's on and then it
Yeah.
kind of moves on. And I rarely go back to it. And I think that's because, not because it's not well made, it is. Not because it's not well written, it is. Not because it's not entertaining, it is. But I've always, right back from the theater days when I saw it in theaters, I have issues with the film's messaging. And I don't, and I've always had that, and I can't let it go. I've tried. When I watched this time, first time in a number of years, I thought, well, I'm older now. Maybe maybe I can kind of embrace this a bit more. But actually, I still bumped into the messaging. I don't like what the characters are doing, and I don't agree with it. And I have an issue with its nihilism. That and this idea of abandon hope and everything's fine. I can't quite get my head into that, and I think that then alienates me from the movie. So it's not one of my favorites. I know loads of people that love it, and I get that, and I understand it, and fair play to them. But I have to confess that because my review that we're going to come on to talk about the AV quality. And there have been, as usual, from the usual suspects, Deej, those moaning about the revisions and the changes and all that stuff. But I have to confess that I'm not a big fan of the film because when I review that, it's going to be based on my viewing of this disc and this experience, not based on the others, because I haven't seen them often enough to be able to do that. So that's my thing with it. I like it, the film, I respect the film, but I don't love the film. And it's certainly not one of my things. So what about you, Deej? What's your view of Fight Club as a movie?
I similar to you. I think I like it. I like it more than you. Borderline. I don't want to say I love it. I do like the story. I liked, but I'm looking at it from a different perspective. I understand. I think I understand your perspective on it, but I think I understand why what you don't like. But I look at it as there are people that have it. This is a portrayal of disturbed individuals that are hurting that have this perspective.
Yeah.
And that's what I like. That's what I've always liked about the movie. And that I remember when this came out, read it again on IMDb. It's like these things, like Fight Clubs, popped up after this, and they popped up around the country, right? And I feel like, and when I heard that back then, I think it was in the news and stuff. People were talking about this stuff, and it was water cooler talk or whatever. And I thought it then, and I thought it again, watching the movie. To your point, what you didn't like about it is the messaging. What I don't like about like the idea that this like Fight Club started popping up, it was like, this is a character moment. This is something that it's like, this wouldn't have happened in real life. Like the narrator or Edward Norton's character in this did this it's like an imagination type thing. This like, so for a Fight Clubs in real life, Fight Clubs popped up. But that was just, it wasn't the same motivation. It wasn't these people were all like, I need to deal with my issues and this is how I do it. These were just, it was literally guys like, all right, let's just kick the crap out of each other and do, when it pops up that way. The idea that it popped up in the movie, the way it expanded in the movie was more to the point of like when anybody, like us coming on this show, right? And us saying we love a movie that nobody else loves. What do we hear in the comments from around the world? It makes you feel good that there are other people that love the movie that everybody hates, right? So you're not, the idea in this movie was you're not alone.
Yeah.
In real life, when the Fight Clubs happened, yeah, you're not alone. Yeah, guys want to kick the crap out of each other. No kidding. You didn't need a movie to show you that. So I didn't think that in real life, when Fight Clubs were popping up, they were motivated by the same thing, that because even in this movie they're not motivated. It's not guys just kicking the crap out of each other. It was almost like, even in that end scene when the cops, that was more Matrix like, right? To show how there are we understand you. That's not real life. That's not the way that it was. It's a character of life. And that's why I like the messaging. I like the idea of it, but don't take it literal. And that's what I think people did when the literal isn't the message at all. To me.
No. I mean, I think it's supposed to be a satire. I think the idea here is you're poking fun at these idiots. However, correct. I think there was certainly when it came out, and I think subsequently, I mean, I see the roots of incels in this. I see the roots of the manosphere in this. I worry that this was a call to arms for the unintelligent.
Yeah, that missed the message.
Yeah,
that
exactly.
Missed the message.
Yeah,
right.
And that's a dangerous thing. And such bugs coming in because the window's open. And it's like bloody Starship Troopers in here. That's my concern, and it's always been my worry that there will people that will take this as a call to arms.
Right.
And I do think there's some culpability in here for some of the issues we have today, but that's not me saying I've only just discovered this. I had these issues back when it came out. So I find it alienating because of that. I find I can't let myself get swept up in the movie because of those issues. And I'm sure Fincher is I think it is a satire. I think this is a joke, as in look at these fools. Look at how easily these people are led. Look at how foolish they are. Look at how they all these people from all these walks of life are doing such stupid things for complete idiots. Actually, you can see one of the bugs walking over the camera. Sorry if you wonder what's going on. It literally does look like Starship Troopers. Get out of here. Go on. So that's been my problem with it. That's my issue with the movie and why I wouldn't put this as my favorite film. And it's not even in my top 50, I would say, even though it's a top-notch production. And I like the leads. I just don't like the story and the way it's put. Okay, so home theater experience then. This is a very different story. So what we have here then, this is Fincher has properly remastered this. And like he did with Seven, like he did with Panic Room, both of which have got in 4K and we've reviewed on the show. He has gone back frame by frame by frame and has not only remastered it, but has updated it and has tinkered with it and has made a number of changes to it. And as Mike Piantadosi rightly points out in the chat, the DTS HD 5.1 Master Audio is a remix, is a new mix for it. It looks as though it's been done, it sounds as though it's been done like Twister, from the original audio stems. I thought, and again, there is a vocal minority saying it's awful, and how dare this artist revise his own art. There is a vocal minority saying, oh, I'm not buying this, it's awful. So I don't agree, but based upon only my opinion of it and my lack of familiarity with the movie. So I thought the home theater experience of this is phenomenal for this movie.
For the movie, right.
I can't imagine it for this movie looking and especially not sounding any better than this. That's what I think. I would say
the sound, I thought, we'll talk about that in a minute. I thought the sound was, like you said, it was phenomenal. I thought the directionality of sounds, I don't even know if I would call them pans, because it was more like there was sound in all the right places, like put off screen to the side or placed on screen perfectly, not center channel driven, even though the character was slightly to the left or right? Like it would be there. And if a character was off screen, sounds, or any sounds really, they were placed appropriately. I was in my theater. I actually had to do something for the show, and I had to turn around and because this is the podcast studio as well as the theater. As I was watching this, I turned around, so my back was to the screen, and I was still experiencing. Now my ears are facing the rear channels, and I was experiencing sounds and people talking at the back of the room in the movie, but I was facing them now, and that was a fun experience. It was just an accident. It happened since that I turned around and I tried to do something on my laptop while I'm like, oh yeah, I got to do this. And it was like and the sound moved, like voices moved from one speaker to the next and then over to the front. I knew left to right and the front behind me. It was a very interesting experience. Just that turning around, never mind watching the movie and concentrating and paying attention. The sound was really good.
It was. I've got some standout ones. I've got no timestamps because who's got time for timestamps?
Yeah.
But I thought what I did like the opening credit sequence where it comes out of nowhere, but it felt like those discs we've talked about before and those mixes before.
Yes.
Where it feels like the audio is into every corner of the room, right to the top, to the bottom, all around you, just filling every square centimeter or inch of space in the theater. It's all just right there and felt like we're in this massive auditorium. So I really liked that, how that began that way.
It's an opening demo, like almost like back to the days of the extension of the Dolby AC3 trailer or the THX trailer before the movie. You come into this movie, which was in 99, so those were still going on then. It's like you come into this movie and it was like the image was almost 3D. Right. Yeah. Because of the graphic that they're using. But then, like you said, the audio, it was just, again, it just so captivating that sets you in the mood and heightens your concentration. And then you go in. What's funny is I felt like, you know what it kind of reminded me of is the opening to the original Spider-Man, Tobey Maguire Spider-Man with the web and stuff.
The X-Men,
yes, or the X-Men as well.
Which was a Fox movie, of course, at that time.
Exactly. I think that's the same year as this, isn't it? X-Men was 90.
Was that 2000? Was it 2000?
Maybe.
I think the X-Men. I think. Yeah.
But either way, yes, it brings you into that, and so you're feeling it's all heightened, like a roller coaster ride. You're heightened, but now you go into a David Fincher movie, so you're heightened, and then it brings you down mentally, but now you're like, oh my God. So your senses are all aware and you're like excited for it. But so now you're paying attention. And that's where I think I love this movie is like, as you're paying attention, we all know, well, hopefully people know, I don't want to spoil things for people that haven't seen a movie that's 30 years old almost, but when you watch it on a second viewing, you're like, oh, that wasn't a glitch, or this. Now how did I miss that? How did I miss this? And it's like all of that stuff throughout the movie. Yeah. But what I was going to say about the picture is, I feel like the picture is perfect for this movie, but it's not perfect. It's not, it's what this movie should be. It's like, if you're used to modern movies shot digital, crisp and clear, and it's like razor sharp imagery, you'll be like, this isn't it. This is a film. This is meant to be. There's grain, there's texture to this. There's feel to it. The Dolby Vision really, or the HDR, whatever you're using, is going to show off the details, the high contrast scenes, all of that, the vibrancy, like we were talking about earlier, in the blood, and the how, and this is where this doesn't feel like a horror movie where the blood is vibrantly red and bloody and
it's supposed to be
dripping.
realistic. Yeah,
This is realistic. The blood is like, you could tell there's red there, but it's black. It's realistic. It's closer to oil, but that's real, and it's on, and it's I think it's like you said, it's like the image, the picture, I don't think could be better. But if you're going to compare it to something to today, you mean, well, it's not as crisp, and I think that's where people are dropping
that's
the ball.
Mistake. Yeah, there's the mistake. I mean, there is still a lot of detail in the image. I mean, when you look if you look at because there's loads of close-ups, you look at the pores and the little marks on the sweatshirts and on the face of the actors. One particular shot that really stood out and did look very three-dimensional was the shot of the bird droppings all over the cars. Yeah. So it's a daylight shot. It goes from night to daylight. And there's a shot of all the cars, all the bird crap all over them. And that looked incredible, so detailed. I actually paused it. I was like, wow, look at that. Yeah. But the shadow details are perfect. It's so inky when it wants to be. I never caught any gray in this that wasn't supposed to be there. It always looked like it had been done with someone who really took some time to make these shadows what they should be. And then the other audio bits I did like the slide sequence as well. When you first hear the penguin say slide, and she chuckles and she goes down the side of the room and then into the rear left surround. So it comes from front left along the wall and then into the rear left side surround, which I thought was really fun. And then if you talk about Panstige, when Edward Norton's beating himself up in his boss's office, watch him go right across the room and then back across the room, which I thought was a really fun little really playful scene, which is supposed to be quite playful, isn't it? And horrific at the same time. So I thought the video was as good as it can be. I really liked it. And I did catch a few of the changes in terms of the Blockbuster. Of course, when this came out, Blockbuster was still around, and I'm sure they didn't pay Blockbuster, so they had to make it red. Now Blockbuster have gone, it's blue. So they've changed the logo now to the correct Blockbuster blue.
Oh, okay.
Which is I mean, I didn't know that. I only noticed I read it somewhere and then I saw it and was ready for it. So I quite like the changes, and I respect an artist's right to change their own work. Of course they should. It's their stuff. So I don't bump into any of those issues, and I thought it looked great, sounded phenomenally good. This was as good an experience watching Fight Club as I've ever had, and I think sensibly was never likely to have. And if you are a fan of the movie, it's a no-brainer. Buy. If you're a casual fan of the movie, which I would say I am at best, it's still a buy, because you're never going to experience it. You've never experienced it is as good as this. I saw that. Sorry, I see that Paul F. Yeah, Eli Hudias is saying, is it in Atmos? No, it's DTS HD Master Audio 5.1, but it's upmixed to Neural-X, as most of us do. So you still get an incredibly immersive soundtrack.
Don't let that
don't put that
sway your vote on whether to buy it or not, because it's exactly what it should be. It sounds phenomenal. It looks phenomenal. I think it's an iconic movie.
It is. Well, there's no doubt about
to your point, like, you don't love it, but how do you not recognize it as one of the most iconic movies?
It's a decade-defining movie. I mean, talk about movies of the 90s. This is going to be there. I mean, there's no question that it's there with The Matrix. It's there with Reservoir Dogs. It's there with Pulp Fiction. It's there with The Phantom Menace, same year. You know, these are
Yeah, well,
90s
I
defining
think I
movies.
put
Well,
this up as a better movie than The Phantom
oh yeah,
Menace.
but in terms of cultural impact from
Right.
1999,
Right.
bear in mind we had The Matrix that year as well. So you had The Matrix, Fight Club, and Phantom Menace all in one summer,
Yeah.
or at least 1 year. Then you know they were defining movies of that decade, and there's no doubt about that. I mean, I think probably for slightly the wrong reasons again for the you know the issues that it brought, but it's still very, very good, and you've never seen it like this.
Yeah.
So as I said, casual or actual fan,
I would
this is
say,
a must
like,
buy.
you commenting on textures and stuff on screen, and I'd say like the Brad Pitt character itself, his hair, his face, like how ripped he is in those
Yeah,
scenes,
very,
but
yeah.
not even just his body, his face, his cheekbones, the scenes when he's smoking and he's looking up. It's like there's a 3D-ness to it. You know, it's the grit that you get out of it, and like I said, his hair and everything, all of the textures, his like how the shine, the sweat of his face, the oiliness of whatever, like I said, the grit, the grime, everything, it's all there, like it hasn't been before. And it's
true.
and again, this isn't one like you that I've watched every year and I know inside out, but I don't think I've never experienced it like this. And
agreed.
it would be interesting, like I said last week, going back and watching, you know, Blue Thunder and watching it, you know, in 4K and be like, wow, that looks great. And then go back and go, wow, what a difference. It would be, I didn't do that with Fight Club, but it would be interesting to see if it was like, oh my God, what if it is the same kind of a pop, right? And you see like, wow, Brad Pitt never looked like that. You know, Edward Norton never looked like that. That scene you said of Edward Norton, you know, beating himself up, it's like, is that not one of the greatest foreshadowing scenes of like when you first saw that movie, you're just like, wow, he's a nut job there. And then as the movie plays out, next time you see it, you're like, how did I not get that? It's like, you know, it's great.
I mean, it is. And I I forgot what I was going to say. I don't know what I was going to say. Oh yeah, I mean, it's interesting. And if you do, and those people who have bought this or are going to buy this, and if you enjoy this, I would recommend you get 7 if you haven't already got it already, because they are of a piece. When you see how he's tinkered with these, they do all look similar. And it's not just that one. The other one is Panic Room as well. And I would recommend you get that too, because they look now more visually similar. They look now visually similar than they've ever looked before. All 3 movies, which I've got in 4K, all look like they have come in the same universe, that they exist in the same space and time, because they all have these same details, the camera roaming, the shadow
high
detail,
contrast. Yep.
all that. It really does. So they are all now clearly Fincher movies, because they all look very similar. So I do recommend those other 2. If you do get this and love it like you should, then if you haven't already got them, get the other 2, because they are really good as well. Did you? I know you've got 70s. Did you get Panic Room in the end? Is that
no, I'm looking at right now. I don't even see it on Kaleidoscape.
Oh, the 4K disc of that is
Or
really.
did I might actually.
I thought you did.
No, it's right here.
No. Yeah, you haven't got it.
No, Panic Room. It's right here. But you know what's funny?
Yeah.
It doesn't come up. Like if you click on. Oh wait a minute. Oh, there it is. Dum. Never mind. It's there. I was saying it doesn't come up if you pull up David Fincher. It doesn't come up, but you have to slide over, because it showed like the list of his, and then there's 2 more Panic Room. But no, I can get 14. I haven't grabbed. I can't believe I haven't grabbed that yet.
You did, yeah, man.
I thought I did too. Yeah, it's $15.
But it's
Dolby
really
Vision,
good. And again,
Dolby Atmos.
Yeah, 4K. Yeah.
For all I know, when you reviewed it, it wasn't in for. We didn't have it yet.
Could have been.
And now I do. So now I will have it.
And that's of course a Sony release, and so they've let him go for it. I mean, it looks awesome. It really does. And again, you've got and with the Atmos on that, the creeping crawl of the because of course the camera floats between floors. Yeah. And so as it does that, you get all the creaking all above you and all the noise and everything else. Panic Room's never been better than in 4K. So that is, as Paul says, that's my 3, all on Steelbook in the chat. Yeah. And this is the thing. They've never been more of a piece than the way Fincher has
Yeah.
revisited them and then put them out again. So I highly recommend it, and well worth checking out, Deej. I mean, if you get Panic Room, if you spend the money, that having now just seen Fight Club, it'd be
Yeah.
interesting to see what you make of that on the back of this. So yeah,
Oh,
do
yeah.
recommend those.
Yeah, I'll
Mhm.
try that. The one thing I did want to say about Fight Club, the way I thought of this before, and I wanted to mention it here and ask you if you thought this, if you've seen this movie, the way when it wraps up, the ending to it, I didn't think it at all during the movie. It's been a while since I'd seen it, and then you see the ending, which I knew the ending, but then the way it ends, it did remind me that I did think, I was like, does this not remind you, have hints of the movie? You ever seen the movie Heathers?
No, I haven't seen
You've
it.
never seen Heathers with
No,
Christian
I've
Slater and what's her name? It's Christian Slater, and it's funny because it's Christian Slater is similar to I feel like his character is similar to Brad Pitt. It's a different story, but it's what the heck is her name? Winona Ryder.
Okay, all right. Yeah, I've not seen it.
And yeah, and she is similar to the Helena. What is it? Helena Bonham Carter.
Yeah, Helena Bonham Carter. Yeah,
Yeah. So they actually look similar,
they do.
right?
Mhm.
So if you haven't seen Heathers, see that movie, and it's like it ends and wraps up the same. It's like it's a little bit. It's a different story, but it ends kind of the same in that catastrophic ending type way.
Okay,
And then almost like a manipulation throughout the movie. And that's why, and then when it ends that way, I was like, wait a minute, this is kind of like Heathers. I was like, and it made me go back through the movie, go back through in memory through, Fight Club and go, I can see similarities here and there, but yeah. So,
Okay.
but yeah, I can't believe you've never seen that one.
No, I haven't. I've heard of it, I think, but I've never seen it. Yeah, no, not seen it.
Yeah.
Um,
Christian
Paul,
Slater.
Paul says he'd like to add Zodiac, but a different pace of movie. Not only, Paul, is Zodiac, I mean, again, I've got the 4K of that. Not only is Zodiac a different pace of movie, Zodiac was shot digitally. And it has a different, I mean, we talk texture. It's got a very different texture to Seven, Panic Room, and Fight Club because it's much smoother. Zodiac looks more like Michael Mann's movies, where they were shot in this sort of digital way. And so it's still good. It's a very nice disc. I mean, I did review it on the show, but it looks significally different to the other three. Those three have a visual language that is similar.
Yeah, that's more
Zodiac is
like
different again.
Heat.
Yeah.
And also the other one I felt like that was similar to is was it Collateral?
Yeah,
Who did
exactly.
that
Yeah,
one?
Collateral, Heat. Yeah.
Yeah.
He did. Yeah, Michael Mann did Collateral.
Michael, yeah, okay. So
yeah,
Collateral it just reminds me of that. The darkness, the way it's shot,
Mhm.
it's similar to that.
Yeah,
So
it is. Yeah, it was shot in the same way, and I'm sure it's Fincher with that time tinkering with digital photography, seeing what it was like, because he is an experimental filmmaker. I mean, he likes to mess with these things, and Zodiac has its own different look to it. Still great, but visually different to those three that we've talked about. So, but yeah, worth checking out. If you haven't got it, Paul, if you haven't got Zodiac yet, I think it's now out in the UK. If it's not, it's out cheaply in the US because I imported it. And,
I have it on
I was really
Kaleidoscope.
pleased with it. Yeah.
Jordan in the chat saying Heathers on 4K by Arrow is a great disc, one of his favorite comedy films. Yeah. It's a definite dark comedy.
Yeah, I was going to say,
It's a dark comedy, but it is a comedy, right? It's like when you see it, it's like a lot of it, you're like, it's ridiculous. Some of it, you're like, oh my God, they went there. And it makes you like kind of chuckle, but it is a dark comedy because they go to a dark place. I if you can find that, Steve, definitely. I'd love to see what you thought of that movie.
Is it still worth seeing now? It's not,
definitely.
Because if it's
To
in
me,
4K, I mean...
to me, that's an iconic film from that time. Absolutely.
Okay.
It's like, what year did that come out? I was like 89, 90, something like that. I was a kid, and I remember seeing it in theaters and being like, wow, be like, it's got, Winona Ryder, Christian Slater. I'm trying to think of some other people. I think it had some of the people in it, like 90210 people. There you go. That's the one I was thinking of. But people like that, something like that's what probably was making me think of it. But Yeah. And it's
okay.
a, Christian Slater at the time, like high school hijinks type thing, but it goes to a dark place where you'd think it was with his movies. Did you ever see Pump Up the Volume?
No.
The other Christian
Heard
Slater
the song.
Yeah, no. This is Pump Up the Volume where he did like it was before podcasting was invented, but he would broadcast on air, and kids would listen to it. His HHH was his name. His call name on the show was Happy Harry Hardon. I can't believe you haven't seen that one, and that's like a rebellious teenage movie. And then so you go into Heathers kind of thinking the same thing of that kind of genre at the time, but then Heathers goes in a dark direction. And you're like,
Okay,
I think you'd like it. I think you'd like
well,
it.
if it's out in 4K, and I mean, I'll see if I can locate it locally, and if it is, I'll pick that up. If again, Jordan's saying it's absolutely worth seeing. So, so same as you. So that that's two recommendations. That'll do for me. Yeah.
So 2-1. Steve won't like it, and Jordan and I will be like, yeah. Yeah, there you go. All right, there we're to go. All right. Yeah, let me know if you're gonna watch it. And I'll watch it here because we have it on Kaleidoscape in 4K too. So
yeah, well, I mean, yeah, okay. I can
that'd be fun one to review.
That.
I haven't seen that in a while. So
okay, right. Well, there we go. I think
all
we're
right.
done.
It's that flew by.
Oh man,
like beyond flew by. Here's one I wanted to ask you. I was going to ask you off air. We can do it on air to give people a warning. We mess around and do, we get on our show. You and I sit down here a little bit before 4. We try to be like literally 5 of, like today. I think I was here at 3 of because of stuff going on. What about the idea? What do you guys think of this? People in the chat, email me if you're hearing this on Friday. What about the idea that Steve and I would start? Say we started at 4 o'clock. I have 2 ideas. We start on time at 4. We take some questions for 15, 20 minutes and then do the show proper. But here's the thing. Only the show proper goes out to the audio only.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? So it's like if you're getting the audio only, it gives you there's 2 pieces. The YouTube is still a piece, and then this is a piece, and you could do it. And then it makes people, all right, I'll check this out. I'll do that. And I'm not trying to generate numbers. I'm just trying to have some fun. I don't care about the number. I'm not trying to say like, if you only listen to the audio only, because it'll leak out back and forth. And the other idea was if we started, because us starting on time is literally just, it's really me. And if I nail it down, I'll just make sure I sit down earlier and do this and okay. But if I could start at 4:15, I can certainly move it earlier. But then if we could also do like, if we sit down earlier and then start at 4 o'clock, I don't know. But what about that? What do people think about that? What do you think of that, Steve?
Yeah,
what do you think of the idea of splitting it up and me only putting out the show proper audio?
Yeah, well, as long as it doesn't then take up too much time for you, then having to get all that edited together and then
I already split it up when I edit it. It's just a matter of cropping that off the end. It's not. It's literal 2 seconds from what I normally do.
Yeah, it sounds eminently doable, and it's interesting. I mean, Deej, it's very common, and those in the chat that are regulars will know that I, sign in a few minutes, and we tend to answer a few questions anyway. It's only formalizing what we normally do anyway, but doing it where people can tune in. So that could be the pre-show, and then we start the show, and then we do everything else after we've started it off. So sounds good to me.
Because we are getting a lot of engagement. One thing that is missing that I did like a lot is like we'd read an email here and there, and maybe we do that. And I know obviously we can't. Most of the time here it is 6:16 now, and most of the time you want to be done by 6. But there's no reason. It's really just me. Can I get here early? And if we get here early enough, you and I could start earlier, and we can extend the show that way and still end at 6 o'clock.
Yeah,
and
that's easy for me to do.
Is that something the listeners want? Like, okay, and we'll do that, and take questions and stuff like that, and get some engagement that way.
Yeah, that sounds fun. Yeah, no, we can do that. Yeah, always happy to answer questions. And knowing us, one question is all we'll get to. Because if it's 15 minutes, that's even more.
One question, and it'll be like 6 o'clock. Whoops. We never got to the show proper.
And what was the question? Just why Well,
How did you two meet?
yeah. So, well, first the Earth cooled, then the dinosaurs came. Start at the beginning.
Well, an asteroid hit.
Yes,
like-
yeah.
What
was it?
Steve's
Someone-
family
I think
came
that's
out of their
Naked Gun.
cave. My
Or is
family
it
came
Police
out.
Squad? Yeah, I think it's
Huh?
Police Squad. Is it Police Squad where someone says, "Tell me what happened from the beginning," and someone says, "Well, first the Earth cooled, then the dinosaurs came."
Yeah.
And it's just that's brilliant. I love that.
Oh, so all right.
Okay.
Sounds fun. I'll see what we do next week.
Yeah. Let's
We'll
see
see.
how early we get on. Yeah.
Yeah, let's see. We'll talk about it. Steve and we'll see what we can do. But yeah, so if we start early next week, we at least gave you a week's worth of warning. If we start on our normal time, then you're like, okay, we'll try it again the following week. Who knows? All right. That'll do it. Let's get Steve to bed.
Mhm.
It's late over there, but yeah,
Sweat pit.
as we as we said, it's like, it's the chat going strong. Thank you very much. Thanks to everybody in the chat. Thank you to everybody listening to the audio only. Really appreciate that. We know the numbers are even stronger there. Just don't get the same type of engagement, obviously, because you're hearing a recording. But yes, thank you to everybody. Thanks to all the patrons. Yeah, that will do it for this week. Until next week, you know what you got to do. I got to find my cursor. Where's my cursor? Oh, there it is. Okay, there we go. Till next
Go
week.
push play.
No, all right, I'm hitting buttons too fast. Till next week, you know what you got to do.
Go push play.
What he said.
That's right. Oh, crap.
Hey, Fred. This has been a Hey Fred production with theme music by Jeff Bernhardt and Throne Vault Productions.